Last birthday today. It's Kyle Schwarber's birthday. Schwarbaum turns 31 years old today. And
I bet he's excited we're coming down.
He's got to be. He's got to know that we are on the way.
Is this where they're going to sit, right here?
Happy birthday.
I read the other day he's the only baseball player in history to hit a home run in the World Series, the NLCS, the ALCS, the NLDS, the ALDS, the Wild Card Game, and the World Baseball Classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that impressive?
That is impressive.
He's on our team.
All right. Happy birthday to you, sir. All right. Let's see if we can find somebody who has an answer via Zoom, I think. Marissa, are we going to go to somebody? Yeah. It looks like, I started to see an image up on our screen here. So we're doing answers via Zoom. Why, we have a whole family here, folks. We're going to talk to Ryan, first of all. Hey, Ryan. How you doing?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Who's there with you, Ryan?
My kids, Harper and John.
Harper, I love that name.
Hey, Harper and John. Nice to see you guys this morning. Still in their jammies.
I just woke up.
All right, very good. All right, so here's the question. What U.S. city's nickname honors its culinary history of slow-cooking beans in molasses? Please tell us.
I believe that'd be Boston.
It would be Boston. Beantown, you're absolutely correct, sir. So hang on the line. We shall retrieve some information from you and set you up with that prize, which, by the way, is a pair of movie tickets to see Mickey 17. And that is from Academy Award-winning writer-director of Parasite, Bong Joon-ho. Yes, Kathy.
You guys know that I love Bedhead. I shared an amazing Bedhead picture with you years ago.
Yes.
What was her name? Harper?
Harper, yes.
Harper, that take a picture and save it.
Yeah, that's classic Bedhead. She is, that looks great, Harper.
She's smiling. Yeah.
Nice job. All right. So anyhow, let's see here. The movie Mickey 17 is in theaters and IMAX nationwide this Friday. So we've got some entertainment stories to run by you. We'll start with this. Millie Bobby Brown posted a video on Instagram in which she condemns the press for bullying her over her changing physical appearance. The Stranger Things star called out specific articles and writers for their disturbing coverage that is devoted to, she said, dissecting my face, my body, my choices. I started in this industry when I was 10 years old. She wrote in the caption of the video, I grew up in front of the world, and for some reason, people can't seem to grow with me. Instead, they act like I'm supposed to stay frozen in time, like I should still look the way I did on Stranger Things Season 1. And because I don't, I'm now a target. And she blasted, quote, the people who are so desperate to tear young women down, and went on to name some of the writers and articles who targeted her. She directly read aloud some of the headlines that have been written about her recently, and they're terrible. You know, I mean, it's come on.
First off, I categorically disagree that she looks bad in any way. She looks phenomenal.
Yeah, but some people think that she's overdoing it, I guess.
Relax.
But this, Steve and I were talking about this yesterday because we watched the video, and she is just such a well put together, intelligent, gracious person, and she had made this video, and she did it very elegantly. She's made several red carpet appearances in recent weeks on the publicity tour of her new Netflix original movie, The Electric State. She said, this isn't journalism, it's bullying. About the press coverage, she said, the fact that adult writers are spending their time dissecting my face, my body, my choices is disturbing. And the fact that some of these articles are written by women makes it even worse. She is gearing up for a busy 2025 with the release of The Electric State later this month, and then the final season of Stranger Things expected to launch later this year.
Kathy, if you were to give an estimate of percentage-wise, who's more likely to snipe at someone's appearance in general, men or women?
Oh, no, I think women.
Women, okay.
Yeah.
So she made her marriage to Jake Bon Jovi even more permanent. This time she got some ink, and she was spotted in London sporting a fresh ankle tattoo with the letters JB, seemingly a nod to her husband.
Did you see the PNS worked in there as well?
No, I didn't take it close enough.
She went to Floating World.
So she showed off her new ink while rocking a bold leopard print outfit complete with a matching trench coat, mini umbrella, and pillbox hat.
And it looked good.
And this isn't her first tattoo either. She has dainty flowers on her back, the name Ruth on her rib cage for her late grandmother, and a tiny heart on her collarbone. Plus, she paid. That's her asking for the tattoo, if you're wondering why we're playing that.
She was tanked up.
So she paid tribute to her Stranger Things character 11 with a 011 inked on her wrist as well. So that's the list of tattoos.
That's cool.
Yeah. So from the actual show, she got a real tattoo of that.
Do you know what surprised me at the Oscars? I didn't realize Ariana Grande's hands were so tatted up.
Yeah,
Did you guys see that?
I did, yeah. And she was sitting next to Cynthia Erivo, who also has a lot of arm and hand tattoos. In the press release on this, Preston, do they have a release date for Stranger Things? Or
It just said later this month.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
later this month or this year?
This month. Hang on, Nick.
Oh, it better be. Oh, that'd be wonderful.
That's my job.
Threw it in the trash.
Wait, don't you do a trash report?
Let's see here. Yeah, but that's not till later in the show. It says the actor's gearing up for a busy 2025 with the release of The Electric State later this month.
I meant Stranger Things.
Stranger Things later this year.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, you got it. So the New Mexico Gas Company found no significant findings in its investigation of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's home following their deaths, and natural gas is not believed to be a factor in their deaths. That said, a small gas leak and code violations were discovered during their investigation, but none were apparently life-threatening. Workers apparently found a minuscule gas leak from one of the stove burners measuring 0.33% gas in the air, and that tiny amount is apparently not enough to be fatal. Sheriff Aiden Mendoza seemingly confirmed that carbon monoxide poisoning was ruled out after testing. The last event that was recorded on Hackman's pacemaker was on February 17th, 9 days before their bodies were discovered.
I forget the way it was phrased, but the notion of perhaps he died, she found him dead, and then she
There's so many of those going around.
yeah.
Like,
I'm wondering if that might be a likely scenario.
Right.
That she was heartbroken and decided that she didn't want to live without him. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think she killed him.
So young.
That's possible too.
Yeah.
Depending on the toxicology, I guess if they find out he had drugs in his system, maybe that's it.
The dog throws everything off, though.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he just ate some of the pills that were on the ground.
Well,
or-
the dog was in a crate.
Starved to death.
That's right. It was, and then there
the
were
other two were out.
two others, and they were fine, right?
Yeah.
You think they would help get their friend get out of the cage?
Well, you think they'd start eating the bodies too?
Yeah,
that
I would.
happens. It legitimately happens regularly. So, all right. Anyway,
So strange.
we're moving
If
on.
I'm in an elevator that's stuck, I'd pick out people I'm going to eat.
Jax Taylor, who's the star of Vanderpump Rules as well as The Valley, has revealed yesterday that he is an addict. He said, I have a substance issue primarily with cocaine. He said, it's hard to say out loud. I've been dealing with this on and off since I was 23, and now I'm 45.
So you're the big Jax fan on the show. Did this hit you like a brick?
I just couldn't. Well, listen, I kind of knew.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
So he's doing well for the moment, closing in on 3 months sober. He said, I can't do cocaine without drinking, so I just gave up both. And I'm proud to say I'm 83 days sober right now, which is the longest I've ever gone in my life without either. Now, his ex and Bravo co-star, Brittany Cartwright, reacted to the admission, and she said, I'm glad that he finally admitted to what was really going on. For the first time, I can speak openly about the extent of trauma he instilled on our family over the years. I've tried desperately to help him without success. I pray that one day he'll completely knock this addiction, but I'm skeptical. His behaviors are still alarming, and his treatment plan seems to be the bare minimum. So, cocaine, man.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce may have cameras on them almost constantly, but one person says they went months without showing up on anyone's radar. A guy named Wes Bergman, Kelce's next-door neighbor, was on a podcast last month when he spilled that living near Kelce made him aware the NFL star was dating the singer months before it was revealed publicly. He said, I beat the validating of her showing up to games and stuff like that by 6 months. And since then, something must have spooked him because he's walking it way back. He said, oh my God, y'all, I'm so sorry and confused. He wrote this yesterday on social. Everything being reported on is none of my business. My contribution to this was taken out of context and said in what I thought was relative obscurity, but it obviously wasn't. To be fair, Swift herself admitted the two had been dating for a while before their first appearance at the Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yeah, it sounds kind of weird because they're living in larger houses, almost like mansions, estates.
Yeah.
So that gives the kind of notion that he was spying on his neighbors.
I don't know. Or
Yeah.
maybe, Travis reached out to him and said, hey, dude,
Shut your face.
mind your own business.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
Huh.
Yesterday, there were hints that Chelsea Handler and Ray Fiennes may be seeing each other.
What?
There's pictures of them together.
Yeah.
I really like both of them. I was watching Ray Fiennes quite a bit during the Oscars the other night. Dude did not smile a whole lot.
Really?
Yeah, he just looked like he was not having very
yet
much fun.
He has a very successful novelties company.
A day later, he said, we have a little clarity on the situation. Sources told TMZ that the two are spending time together and having some fun, giving things a trial run before possibly making their relationship official. This is a source. The two were seen leaving the Vanity Fair Oscar party together, which started the rumor mill buzzing, but as of right now, they're just enjoying each other's company and keeping things light.
Can't wait to see him on skis naked for her birthday.
Yeah.
Kath, what do you think of the work she's had done lately?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Sometimes it can get to be like you can still look decent and then it starts to
It tips.
set in.
Yep. Speaking with Hero magazine, Robert Pattinson confirmed he's going to reprise his role as Batman,
Yeah.
but groaned that he wished the movie would start production already. He said, I started out as young Batman, and I'm going to be old Batman by the sequel. He also reassured fans that he's physically doing fine, saying, I'm old, but I'm healthier. I think I've actually brought my biological age down a bit. The second Batman movie starring Pattinson is expected to be released in 2027, while his first Batman movie came out in 2022, of course. DC Studios co-head James Gunn has defended the long time between the movies, previously sharing a 5-year gap or more is fairly common in movie sequels.
Oh, and he's working on another a Batman movie as well. James Gunn is part of that James Gunn DC universe. So
Different Batman?
different Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many Batmans can he go
I think about
through?
5,000.
Yeah, right. George Lowe, a veteran voice actor whose credits include the title role in Space Ghost Coast to Coast, passed away yesterday. He was
That
67 years
sucks.
old. Yeah.
Love Space Ghost.
Lowe reportedly passed away following a short illness back in July 2023. Space Ghost contributing writer MC Chris shared with fans concerned about Lowe's conspicuous absence from social media that the actor had been suffering health problems, including an aortic dissection that required intubation twice, and had a nurse looking after him in his home in Florida. He said, we came close to losing him, but he has since passed. An alumnus of the Radio Engineering Institute of Sarasota, Lowe began his career in the 1980s with occasional voiceover work before landing the title role in Cartoon Network's Space Ghost Coast to Coast, a send-up of talk shows that featured live-action celebrity guests. The animated series run for 10 years and more than 100 episodes, including a move to Adult Swim, and brief revival via Turner Broadcasting's Game Tap online video game show.
The great thing about Space Ghost, Preston, the comedic aspect of it is that they would cut to characters for reaction shots, like quiet, like just staring. And it's not something that you would see that in a live action comedic piece, but to have these animated characters react that way
Right.
was so funny.
So sad news, he's passed.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves has shut down speculation about another John Wick sequel. He was speaking with Extra, and he shared, and this is a spoiler alert because I didn't see John Wick Chapter 4. It says, the character's dead. He died in John Wick Chapter 4.
They suggest he's dead.
Well, he says he's dead.
Right.
So that's Keanu.
Yeah, until the money comes in.
When asked about the possibility of more films, he said right now there isn't, though he did admit Hollywood has a tendency to revive characters. And he also did point out that Ballerina, the spinoff set in the John Wick universe, is set to come out later this year, and admits that John Wick makes a brief appearance. Starring Ana de Armas as an assassin in training. For that film takes place between Chapter 3 and Chapter 4.
Listen, I'm a massive John Wick fan. 4 is a long haul. I mean, it's a longer movie, and there are some of the most brilliant fight set pieces I've ever seen, but it's a lot to absorb.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a long one.
Okay. Speaking of Keanu, he made an uncredited cameo in Apple TV's Severance as the voice of, is it the Lumen building?
Oh, really? That's Keanu?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
Lumen,
the voice of the Lumen building in a video watched by the Innies in the first episode of season 2. But it turns out that the actor wasn't actually the first choice for the voice role. Appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live, director Ben Stiller said that he actually tried to get President Barack Obama for the role. And he emailed the former president through a friend who knows Obama's lawyer. And 2 days later, he actually got a polite decline directly from Obama. He said, "Hey, Ben, big fan of the show. Love season 1. Can't wait for season 2. Don't think I have time in my schedule to make this happen." Stiller said that it was pretty cool that he responded at all. But he joked and said, what is more important than doing the voiceover for the animated building in Severance? So he had to pass on it. David Arquette is making a shocking return in the highly anticipated Scream 7. He's joining the likes of his fallen Scream co-stars like Scott Foley and Matthew Lillard.
I am so shocked.
Arquette, who plays fan favorite Dewey Riley, was killed off in Scream 5, but details on how he returns are under wraps. He'll reunite with Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell and more returning stars.
You watch all of those, Steve?
No,
Yeah, okay.
I watched the Jenna Ortega one. I'm sort of I was not that big a fan of the first one. I thought it was fun, and it was meta, which was kind of cool. But like, okay, been here, done that.
The 7th installment to the Ghostface franchise has no shortage of star power with newcomers. McKenna Grace, Joel McHale, Mark Consuelos, and more are joining the deadly universe. I've never even saw the first one.
You never saw the first one?
Nope. Disney has announced the premiere streaming date for its global blockbuster Moana 2. And, of course, the voiced act includes all the people from the first movie.
I saw it because I saw that sled at the Cardboard Classic.
Yes, it was so well done. The animated sequel, which made over $1 billion globally last year, is coming exclusively to Disney Plus, and you will find that on March 12th.
You guys know that Dwayne Johnson's now the bad guy in the WWE?
Oh, he's a bad guy now?
He's a bad guy, and I didn't realize this until recently, but he's also positioned now as the owner of the WWE. I don't know a lot about the inner workings of storylines and politics and
I
stuff
didn't
when it
know
comes
that
to
was
the
happening.
WWE, but Dwayne Johnson and John Cena teamed up against the guy who wears the belt. I'm sorry, wrestling fans.
The guy who wears the belt?
Yeah, the current champion, whoever that guy is.
Got it.
And John
Rico
Cena.
Suave.
No, John Cena completely stabbed that guy in the back, and he sided with Dwayne Johnson in the ring the other day, and kneed him right in the balls. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody
Wow,
knew. Yeah,
nobody.
So John Cena and Dwayne Johnson, who were once good guys, are now the heels of the WWE.
That is a big turn.
Yeah.
All right, after factoring in both broadcast television and the many streaming options available to viewers, it was determined that viewership for the 97th Annual Academy Awards was up slightly. Initial reports on Monday had viewership down a tick year to year, but after they figured in mobile and PC viewing, the final tally was 19.69 million viewers, which is a fraction above last year's 19.5 mil. And making for the award show's highest viewership in 5 years.
How many different ways were there to watch the Academy Awards?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously Hulu was one of them, but
I think Tubi was doing it as well.
possibly. So, yeah, when you add all that stuff together, apparently there was a bigger audience for it.
Cody Rhodes is the guy that wears the belt.
Cody Rhodes.
He's the man
guy
who wears the belt.
Sorry, wrestling fans.
Amanda Seyfried spilled some juicy details about a possible sequel to Jennifer's Body being in the works.
I'm a fan of that movie.
She starred in the horror comedy back in 2009 alongside Megan Fox, and the film didn't exactly set the box office on fire, but it did gain a cult following in the years since its release. And while attending the Toronto Film Festival, Seyfried met a fan who was a big fan of Jennifer's Body and gave them hope for more to come. She said, "I think we're making a second one." And she said, "I didn't confirm it. I said, I think." And then she winked and added, "We're working on it. We're working on it."
That's
So-
a Diablo Cody script.
Oh, yeah?
So it has that sort of humor to it, but it's also legit horror.
And then one last thing, Kristen Ritter has joined Dexter Resurrection as a guest star. The details about her character are pretty limited right now, but we do know that she's going to be named Mia. So hopefully that won't that'll be enough for diehard Dexter fans for now. Dexter Resurrection is the sequel to the series on Showtime. And production started in January of this year. It's expected to debut on Paramount Plus with Showtime in the summer. And, of course, it stars Michael C. Hall, Uma Thurman, David Zayas, and Jack Alcott.
So have you been along for all the Dexter iterations?
I have.
And have they lived up to quality level?
I enjoyed the latest go around with it when they were in like Canada or whatever. But I haven't caught the new one, the prequel.
Right.
Essentially.
Okay, mystery clips, I guess.
I handed you the thing.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Wow. I didn't even say it.
Oh, my God.
All right, real clips. Here we go. The characters in 0 Day seek help from past leaders by calling a former president out of retirement. In this clip, Angela Bassett talks about how she learns from other actors, past and present.
Just watching them just, be reckless with it, be interesting with it, being deep with it, whether it's within the lines or it's behind the eyes, always watching for a special performance or to be moved in any way.
0 Day is streaming now on Netflix. Here's our next clip. Last month, Oscar de la Hoya was revealed to be the Fuzzy P.
Come on.
On The Masked Singer. And here, the Golden Boy of Boxing talks about what his younger self would think about the show.
That I'm not afraid of doing this. The courage I have to do this. And it's because obviously being behind the mask and being the Fuzzy P and nobody knowing who I am is just like, it's so liberating and gives me confidence.
Shut the f*** up!
New episode of Masked Singer airs tonight. You'll find that on Fox.
I imagine being a Fuzzy P would be liberating in a way, yeah?
Finally a Fuzzy P. How about that? That's the entertainment report for the morning, friend. We are going to take a break. We're going to check in with our friends on Fox Good Day this morning. We will do that. And we have a guest on the program, Mr. George Wallace, great comedian, will be popping in the 9 o'clock hour. And we're getting set for 1 week from tomorrow, broadcasting live from spring training in Clearwater. We hope you'll be joining us for that. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Let's see if we can get an answer to this stupid question. What type of animal was Dolly, the first mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell in 1996 when that happened? 215-263. WMMR, and it looks like Mike here was our first caller in, so I'm going to go to him. Good morning, Mike.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, my man. So what type of mammal was it?
A sheep.
A sheep, yes. Dolly the sheep. That's the audio of the cloning process.
It didn't work as well as they had hoped. There were complications.
All right.
Well, good morning.
Run!
Listen, let's give something away here. We have this screening of Mechanic Resurrection. It's a Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
See, Jason Statham in The Mechanic.
Jason Statham.
Resurrection. You remember when he died in the first one, Preston? He comes back as the leader of a religion now. The stone. And I swear to God, Jason Statham is back from the dead. I saw the boulder was moved.
I hate you, Casey. He's just looking at me laughing.
It's such a great name.
Jason Statham.
My favorite is Kathy, though.
And everyone does it.
Everybody does it.
Everybody.
It goes between Kathy and Casey.
The hybrid.
Kathy. All right, so I have tickets to see The Mechanic Resurrection starring Jason Statham. Steve sent me this story. President Lyndon Baines Johnson would apparently, according to this story, relieve the stress of his job by sleeping with prostitutes.
Let's see if you can't leave me about it.
It's him talking to a hooker.
Ends round under my back to my bunghole.
What I need you to do is to do a little thing with your index finger and tickling in the general area of my taint and in the back about my bunghole. Hope they never record part in this.
Just very matter of fact.
He's actually they were world leaders in the Oval Office at the time he made that call. Excuse me, folks, just got to take this call from my hooker.
But one of his prostitutes includes one favorite whom he would introduce as a family friend. Penny, who had a clean-cut look, according to Blanchy, would be spirited away to a series of ranches between Austin and LaGrange. There, she would be introduced as a friend of Johnson's family until the pair could find somewhere more secluded.
Oh, man.
She visited...
The crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight.
He's very specific with his hookers.
Where your nuts hang.
You know where your nuts hang.
Yeah, that's in the crotch area.
You know, in that exact area where the poop comes out. You know what I'm talking about. The sweat kind of congeals around just behind your testes.
Jesus.
That's the president.
Were you nuts?
And you really can't tell. You said, Jamie, hand down there and take a good snip on your fingers. What's working down there? What do I got? Is this hooker friendly yet, or do I got to run the old pee-pee down under the water a little bit? Clean it up.
Dude, you smell your fingers.
Yeah, you know, so the hooker don't wince when you're on top of her doing a little rodeo, you know? You know what I'm saying. Let me do a quick check. All right, we're good. Call up the Chicken Ranch. Extra crispy.
Hang on a second here.
Just damn that. What, does that smell like? What? Kind of smells like okra.
Let me go to Dawn here. Hey, Dawn, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Dawn?
I helped my niece. I grew up on a dairy farm.
Okay.
And you work no matter what.
Yeah.
And this past weekend, I was helping her milk, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, we were soaked in sweat.
I'm sure.
Milking cows.
You never want to rip one of those teats off?
No, you just want to walk. Maybe find a hay bale, toss a hay bale or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I do. Yeah. I go out in 98-degree weather and throw hay bales around.
No.
That'll work off all that anger.
Boots.
I just beat 10 chickens to death.
Hey, Dawn. All right, I want to.
Go ahead.
What kind of milk? Not what kind of milk. But
What kind of milk do you like?
where can I get your milk?
I'm a 2%er myself.
I used to be a 2%er. Now I'm a skim guy. But where can I get your milk?
What kind of milk?
Wait. You can't say that.
Dawn.
Say manure.
You're going so well.
Manure.
Manure.
Oh, jeez.
What stores can I buy your milk at?
What stores can he find your milk at?
I feel horrible for my boy here.
Oh, my God.
Casey's in real pain, man. I told you his neck has been bothering him, and he's at the point where he can't turn his head. It's his whole torso. And if you look up, it's almost that.
Yeah.
You know?
He's doing Thriller.
Yeah, you're doing that Thriller move where Michael goes up and turns to the side with his hands up.
He can't laugh. He can't laugh.
Oh my God, that hurts.
Now's the time for getting down.
Well, I think
feel
we're
bad
back
for
to
you,
the
man.
point where now we have to tell. He has to go to the doctor. This is not like a stiff neck. It's been a while.
I'm not like the other guys.
It's clearly meningitis. So, I don't
That
know.
heart attack thing.
You okay?
Yes.
All right. This is what it looks like. Hey, Casey.
Yes.
Pastor. I wanted to set up the stop set.
You poor bastard.
Oh, he's laughing and in pain at the same time. I feel so.
God, that hurts
I must
so bad.
let you know we have a sleep number spot coming up. Make sure you sound enthusiastic.
Unfortunately, you're in the most sympathetic room in Philadelphia.
Poor son of a bitch. But listen quickly. There's a few people that are texting in. They know exactly how much. A guy says 8 beers, and I'm effing like a goddamn champion.
Yeah, but 10.
That's a lot.
But that's
Kathy's right. 8 beers is a lot.
I guess it would depend over what amount of time. But maybe you know that exact amount.
You're in the pocket.
That will give you duration.
Yeah.
Yet not completely cancel the party.
Without urination.
Duration without urination. Stand for it now.
There we go.
But there may be a magic amount or a magic elixir.
What do you think your magic number is?
Drink.
I bet you. I peg you as a 4.
That's
beer.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
4 was the number that came to mind, but I've never actually done the specific math.
Well, when we have the camp out, it took you about 4 before we were getting it on.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I had to lower my inhibitions a little bit.
Do different types of alcohol.
Fear of rejection.
That's
from
what actually
Steve.
kept the camp out going. It's like a
All these
back.
years, yeah.
You think those guys really gave a damn about sheep herding?
I couldn't quit that.
If you're drinking bourbon versus beer, does that change your approach?
No, I think
right, straight up booze.
I find that my alcohol buzzes aren't really different from others. It's just how much.
Okay.
You know? I don't know.
I can't drink 4 beers anymore. And that guy that texted in 8 beers, forget it. I'll be throwing up in the corner.
Over a couple hours, you can drink 4 beers?
Oh, I love beer. I just can't drink 8 of them.
What? How many bottles of wine?
Like 2 bottles of wine.
I'm like, I average about a beer every half hour. That's what I try to do if I'm going out, you know.
I mean, how big of a bottle?
Nick has instead of the hat, the cap, he has a beret with 2 bottle holders in it. When
2 bottles of wine.
The hose that comes down to his mouth.
I cracked open a 1.5 liter bottle last night, and that's
finished
empty.
it.
Yeah.
You finished
I wasn't by myself.
Were you like Johnny Depp? And
Where's that pour?
I gotta do the show tomorrow.
No, so the carbonation in the beer really starts to fill you up.
Yeah, it's the carbonation. You get filled.
Oh, okay.
And then when you get filled, I think it makes sex less appealing. You're all
I would agree,
bloated,
Because you're burping and farting.
Kinda. Yeah.
Do you remember that the video of Hulk Hogan? He kept going on about he had just eaten. He felt like a pig. And He was full, and he was having
fat, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have sex now.
You look good, baby.
I don't feel good. I feel bloated.
Let me see here.
And in the background is Bubba the Love Sponge. Go do it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are taking, like somebody said, 3 beers and 2 shots of Jameson. Perfect.
Special, no pun intended, concoction that gets it done.
Yeah. I never really thought about it that way. But I guess it's out there.
3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. So, Kat's got a story to tell us, actually.
We made her wait till on air because we had to hear this.
Yeah, I didn't really give you much detail. So yesterday I went to the gym, came back from the gym, showered in the afternoon. And so I was coming out of the bathroom and I was like partially dressed. I brought I had some clothes in the bathroom with me and some were whatever outside. So I came out, I had no pants on. And all of a sudden.
That feels so good. You were Porky Pigging it? You had a top on but no pants?
I had a top, and my underwear and no pants. Yeah. And I start to put my pants on, right? So I kind of have one leg in. And I hear a man's voice. And I was like, what the hell is that?
Wow. And so you were thinking you're home alone.
I had 3 testicles.
home by myself. And so I freeze, right? So I'm just standing there now with one leg in the pants.
You must have crapped yourself.
So, yes,
Yeah.
Steve, I was like, who is that? And so then I freeze and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't hear anything. So I have a security system on the house. If anybody enters, I hear it.
Right.
So I'm like, I didn't hear anything. So I go to my apps. I also have apps, right? I check all the Ring cameras, still have no pants on. And I look, and then I can see if my garage door has been opened or closed, anything like that. Nothing. No movements. I'm like, oh no, they came through the window. I'm like, well, how did they get in the house?
You have sensors on your window. Right?
Well, maybe.
Yes, you do.
I do, yes. And so I hear the man's voice again. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, all right, you got to get dressed. What the hell's going on? And of course, I'm like, you have no clothes on. They're going to come in. They're going to rape you. They'll probably kill you. Then we'll bury you out back. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
No witnesses, yeah.
Right.
You'll miss spring training.
Well, mind you, I can't go to spring training. There's it's broad daylight outside.
But every nightmare you've ever had about being alone is coming true.
Right. And in the middle of the day, I'm going to die.
Right.
So I quick get dressed, and I was telling Jace the story. I do everything in a movie where you're like, why would they ever do that? I did it. That's what I did. God. I did everything. So I have 911 on my phone, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
first off, you're keeping your pants off, which is
no,
amazing.
my pants are on now. I got dressed, Steve. I unfroze. I got dressed, and I put 911 on my phone because I'm like, I checked everything. There's no one in here, but who is this man that's talking to me? So I'm quiet, right? Like I leave the bedroom, I go out into the hallway, and I hear it again.
Can you make out the words that are coming out of this man's mouth?
Yeah, just wait. Okay. So I realize that now that so I go down the hallway. It's coming from Jace's gaming room, and so I'm like, it's got to be, but he doesn't have toys anymore. You know what I mean? So
Something hasn't been triggered or
it would and I had been home for I had lunch before I took a shower. So I had been home and there was no noise. So even if it was a toy that was going off, I would have heard it when I came into the house. But again, he has no toys. So so like a movie, I'm like, I'm going in. So
my God.
I'm going to go into where
you have a weapon in your hand?
No, I have 911 on my phone in case I need a quick hit call, right?
Yeah.
So I bust open the door of the gaming room, and of course, there's nothing. There's no one there. There's nothing. And I hear, police scanner 5. Police scanner 5. And it's repeating itself now.
Police scanner 5.
Police scanner 5.
Okay.
Police scanner 5. My niece and nephew were over the day before, and Jace has walkie-talkies.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I guess they left a walkie-talkie on.
It's a scanner too, then, obviously.
I was getting some police frequency on this scanner in my house. And now that I think back, it was the same thing I was hearing, even though I couldn't make out what they were saying until I busted through the door. It was the same thing. Like, there was a cadence to it. There was, and it wasn't robotic. It was a person's voice, but it was almost like, I told you guys yesterday, I'm watching Lost again. It was almost like that. Like you were hearing something on so it was the walkie-talkie, and it scared the crap out of me, and I thought I was going to have to call 911, and I thought I was going to be dead yesterday because of it.
Okay, so let me back this up a second. When you were about to open that door, about to bust in, I mean, like, what was your plan? You know, I mean, were you...
Because I knew that there wasn't any...
Like, they can't be.
They can't be.
But you also don't know for sure. So is your finger hovering right above the call?
My heart was pounding. I was sweating.
I want to see you!
My finger was above the call button so that I could reach 911 if needed. But I knew, I was like, I'm not going to call 911 and then have to call back and be like, it was nothing. So instead, I took the chance of getting murdered.
Have you ever called 911 in your house? I mean, have you ever? I mean, does it take? I know some people who are constantly calling 911 for frivolous reasons. And then there are other people who just never do.
Well, and I did I was like, well, should I call 911 and be like, listen, I hear something in my house. Can you stay on the phone with me while I go in the room?
I'm scared.
But I didn't.
So, Steve, you know people who call 911?
A friend of mine, Dennis, from years ago.
Give us an example.
Sounds around the house.
Okay.
But not even human sounds. Like maybe your hot water heaters,
a bump and a bang or something.
All of that stuff. You come home and he'd come home and there'd be a light on it. This is the guy of the house calling 911. Is like, don't you check it out first? But he was perpetually paranoid.
This is not the same thing, but this happened yesterday to me, Kathy. I was standing in the kitchen, and I heard an audible voice say something. Now, listen, I have hearing issues, and sometimes I just hear muffled things, and it's somebody saying something. I have to go, what was that? But I clearly heard a man's voice say something. And Rochelle was the only other one that was in the kitchen. And I just go, what? You know, what?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't say anything. And I'm like, at that moment, it was so clear. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm hearing things now.
Oh, no.
This is, it's finally happened.
Where's that sound coming from?
I'm hearing voices out of nowhere.
They're talking to you
and
now.
I wasn't like afraid, that it was a spirit or something like that. I'm just like, this is just my brain and my hearing all messed up. Well, it turns out that actually I was standing right next to the powder room and I didn't notice the door was closed. Parker was in there and he was watching a video on his phone and he wears headphones and he was just commenting out loud on what he was watching. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because for a split second, I had just given in to the fact that, okay, I'm hearing things now.
Yeah.
Well, I love
your husband went fast.
Press, I love the story. You didn't call 911, but you were armed and ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was drunk with a shotgun.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was. I heard a thump. I heard it, and I was. Rochelle was out of town. The kids were with her. I was all by myself. That's why I was drunk. And I heard this really loud thump, and I'm like, "Oh God, somebody's in the house." But no, like calling the police was not on my radar.
No.
Grabbing the shotgun and chambering around, that was.
And didn't you yell down?
I gave them
ample warning.
Fair warning.
Fair warning.
I'm
Yeah.
going to let you walk out of here. No questions asked.
What did it turn out to be?
We had an automatic litter box for the cats. And it was next to a stack of boxes that had something, and the thing would vibrate when it would do its auto clean function, and it knocked something over. And I went down to the basement and found it.
What level of fear or just not knowing what's going on would it take for you guys to actually call 911? Because I don't know what the answer is for me, and unless it's like an emergency, and I've had to, like my son had an episode when he was little, and so we called and got an ambulance or whatever. But that was a person having a really difficult medical time. Yeah. Like as far as something scaring me in the house or hearing a voice, I don't know what I would have to do.
What was my question. I think I would handle it myself.
Right.
Yeah.
My reflexive reaction is not to call 911 if I think there's someone within the house or in the yard, or I go out, and I'll grab a bat or something.
Right.
But I take it under my own purview.
By the way, if you're interested in joining the conversation, no phones still, so text word Zoom to 39333, and we'll send a link to you if you want to chime in.
I've accidentally called 911 twice, both times on my bike, because I have a little thing that I put my phone in on my handlebars, and accidentally held the button down for
and the volume
way
button.
too long.
You
hold it down, and then you just... But it's kind of alarming because you hear a siren essentially going.
There's a tone.
Yeah. So there I am, right, Kathy, right by the bridge where Sea Isle and Avalon meet, and I'm like, "There's no emergency. I accidentally hit this thing," and I'm like, "Do I stand here? Do I wait for a cop to come? Like
What do I do? Yeah.
No, you're good.
But you called them back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called them back to tell them, but I when you call 911, I feel like something already
in the works.
In the works.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like calling them off. I'm like, it's okay. So then I was like, do I stand here and wait for a police officer to come just to show them that there's
At that
nothing
point, you
wrong?
might as well rob a convenience store.
Right.
Years ago, I think I was in college at the time. My mom called 911 in the middle of the night. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and she was there with my brothers who were, younger than me. And it ended up being my brother had a turtle, and they used to take the turtle out of its tank and put it in the kitchen sink and let it just kind of like walk around the sink. Well, they forgot, and the turtle was trying to get out of the sink, and it was crawling up the wall of the sink and then
down.
falling on its back and then climbing back up and then falling down. And so they thought it was like someone trying to break in.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, the cops came and everything.
We have a turtle outside the house.
And my mom ended up they figured it out.
Yeah.
And so when the cop showed up, she was like, so it was just the turtle.
Oh, that's great.
I think a turtle's trying to rape me. There's family lore and legend about this story, Preston. My grandmother on my mother's side and my mother, this was years ago, and I'm remembering the story, I think, fairly accurately, but they were sure they were down. My grandmother went down, Nana, we called her Nan, into the basement, and was certain she saw a man across the room, and she got my mother, and they're both went back up and came back down. I think they had a baseball bat. And my grandmother's saying, I'm gonna kill you, you bald bat. Could see a bald man in across the room. You know those punching bags that sort of rock them?
Yeah. They come back.
It was one of those in the corner in the dark, but she was
Might
like,
look like a figure. Yeah. There's a well-known story within my family. It was when I was a baby or not even born yet, and my mom and dad, apparently they heard something in the house, and they got up and they decided to go look around the house and see what was going on, and they'd split up, and apparently, and I kid you not, it was like right out of a movie, they were each in separate rooms, different parts of the house. They eventually made it to the same room.
Oh, my God.
And they backed into each other.
That's right out of Abbott and Costello.
It was like exactly that scenario. And it just, they said it was hilarious after, but in the meantime, it scared the living hell out of them.
That makes me think of another question. Here's a question to ask. What is since we talk about we're reticent to call 911.
Right.
At the moment you think you might have a home invader or something going on, what's your methodology? I get up and I make noise. I'm big. I start,
Yeah.
And I'm moving around. But I know some people quietly
I froze.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then I
no.
quietly went to the door like as if I was going to bust in and take control.
I go into you son of a bitch mode. That's my thing,
That might be a better theory because
I would be,
and I always have my pants on.
What about just all of a sudden just start? Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you!
screaming and flailing around.
Yeah.
And they would just think, "Oh my God!"
But I would be
get out of here.
I would be so surprised if there was an intruder in my house and the dogs didn't let me know. You know what I mean? Like my dogs, there's no chance you're sneaking in a window or you're walking in any door without them knowing.
Mine too. All right, we're going to go to a Zoom call. We have Karen who is on the line and an interesting story about her daughter. Karen, good morning to you.
Good morning, Preston. How are you?
I'm doing well, so I can't wait to hear this story. What happened?
Oh, this is I was so excited to hear this topic because I'm like, I got a view for you.
All right.
Let me set the scene. Let's set the scene for a second. My husband and I were invited to a dead celebrities costume party, but this was after Halloween, so it wasn't Halloween season. So we went to this party a couple miles from our house, had a great time, got a little too drunk, decided to take an Uber home. This was back when Uber was kind of new. We came in our house thinking we're going to have a nice night. We're all buzzed up and everything. Here, my daughter texts me and says something about, "Mommy, please come home. There's somebody in the house." And here I'm in the house. So long story short, she heard noises. She looked outside, didn't see our car, thought someone had broken in. So she and the dog huddled in her bedroom and she called the cops on us.
Oh, no.
And who you dressed as?
Well, this is funny. I'm dressed as Amy Winehouse, and my husband was dressed as Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. So he had a fig barb with fig blood sticking out of his chest.
He has a stingray barb in his chest.
That's awesome.
He does. So we're upstairs. Like I said, we're getting ready for what we're hoping is a fun evening. And she's texting me, and I'm like, "Haley, I don't know what what are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Like, who's in the house?" Because I'm thinking someone's in the house and I'm there too. So eventually I figure out she doesn't realize it's us. So I decide to come outside. She's downstairs. I walk down the stairs. My house is full of cops. There are police all over my house.
Wow.
They ran a perimeter. She's at the bottom of the steps, and I just see her standing there with a man. I'm like, "Who's here?" And I run down the steps, and I'm in a bathrobe, thank God. I'm not in my other crazy outfit. So I grab her, hug her, or whatever. But, obviously she was very upset, and she did the right thing. But the funny thing is, we made jokes like, what if my husband walked down the stairs and that Steve Irwin outfit?
He's been injured. Yeah. That's hilarious.
He looked kind of scary. So, yeah,
Hey.
my daughter called the cops on us in our own house.
How old was she at the time, Karen?
I want to say 15. She wasn't driving yet. So.
That's pretty good, though, to have the presence of mind. Honestly, she was doing everything right. Everything indicated you guys were not, the car was not back there. She looked for signs that it could have been you. They weren't there. All she knows is that Amy Winehouse and Steve Irwin are coming out.
And by the way, Karen, can you, anytime you hear an Amy Winehouse song, tell me you think of that night.
Every time.
I
It's
love
a great
it.
memory.
I love it.
One looks like a heroin addict, and the other one.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate you checking in via Zoom this morning.
So much, guys. Love you guys.
Love you too. All right, we'll see you later. Here's a text that came in. It says, years ago in the middle of the night, I was dead asleep. Randomly, a Woody doll started saying, "Reach for the sky." And also, there's a snake in my boot. And look, Buzz, it's an alien. And I woke up freaked out, not knowing what it was. The batteries must have been going bad. So it was going.
That used to happen.
Yeah, that happened to us.
Listen, I had a toy do that one time. Terrified me. I was on the way to work. It was, still pitch black dark out. And I go walking by, and the interesting thing about it was not a battery-operated toy.
Huh.
It was a thing where you push a handle down, and it was a little toddler's toy. You push this handle down, and then this train would spin around this short little track, and it would go ding, 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 go around like that. And I guess it had been pushed down and didn't release and my vibrating the ground as I walk by. This is like, 4:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden I hear ring, ding, 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 and I'm like, what the? I think that may have been the most scared I've ever been in my life.
Well, you've been very honest about the fact that like movies like Paranormal Activity and things in your house, those things mortify you.
Yes, that was a bad one. But toys have a way of coming alive, kind of like Kathy's walkie-talkies.
Walkie-talkies, yeah.
We'll go to another Zoomer. We've got Paul. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, gang. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks to you, man. All right, so what happened to you?
So I was living with a college friend in the city, and I'll leave his name out of this for his sake. But I came home from a night out late one night, maybe around 12 or 1:30 in the morning, and he was not expecting me to come home, and I got into my room. I heard him call my name from the hallway, and it seemed a very concerning tone. And I walked back out into the hallway, and my roommate likes to practice his Second Amendment right. And we were then face to face with each other. And, it took us a couple seconds to realize.
Was he drawing down on you?
He did, yeah.
Oh my God! So he had a gun pulled on you?
Yeah, he had his rifle ready to go.
Oh, wow! Please tell me that lights were on.
Yes, lights were on.
Oh my God!
But I mean, did you respond when he called to you?
Yeah, it was it was a strange occurrence, but we laughed it off in the end.
Sure, maybe he was looking to swap roommates at that point.
Listen, you're lucky, dude.
Yeah.
You're lucky. Could have been much worse than that.
Absolutely, yeah. So so he was fully pointed at you, ready to go if he had to.
He wasn't. He wasn't, looking down the barrel, but he was ready to go.
Wow, man. Yeah, that could have ended really badly.
Yeah, seriously.
And you guys are still friends?
Oh, yes. Very close.
All right. Nice. All right. Well, tell him to chill just a little bit. All right.
Once you hear the response of the person you're looking for, you can put the gun down.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll see you later. There's a case. What were you going to say?
No, we when I was a little kid, we rented a house down in Longport. Actually, long story short, we get to the house on Friday night, and we get into the house. First things first, my dog pisses all over the carpet the second we walk into this house, dude. So Maggie is just pissing all over this carpet. We get upstairs, and the people that we rented the house from didn't think we were coming until Saturday, so they were asleep in bed when we got there. I mean, this was, cell phones didn't exist back then, but like it was terrifying because we're like, are we in the wrong house? And you know what I mean? Like, are we in the wrong house, or are there intruders sleeping in the bed? It was like straight out of Goldilocks.
I want to see you.
Wow. All right, we have another Zoomer. We have got Katie, and she had something happen that was an issue with her son who had something around the house. So we'll go to her. Hi, Katie. Good morning. Katie.
Good morning.
Hey.
Happy to be here, guys.
Hey, happy to have you. What's going on?
So I wanted to say to Kathy, you were not the only one that has had that happen. I did not resort to putting 911 on my phone, but we had given my son Ninja Turtle walkie-talkies for Christmas. So we're playing with them in the morning, and then we start hearing this voice. And my husband and I are like, we know that voice. Who is it? And they're talking to us. It was our neighbors from like 6 houses down. So Christmas morning, we were on the walkie-talkies talking to each other, having a great time. But we've also had construction workers, like you hear them like saying, all right, there's 5 cars.
Right.
And we've had police scanners on there, and we have some random guy that comes on too.
Were you hearing the construction workers? Who were you hearing?
I was hearing we hear all sorts of them. When my son leaves the walkie on, you'll hear construction workers nearby talking to each other.
Oh my God.
That is wild. So I've heard about that. Like sometimes baby monitors and stuff randomly picking up other
Yeah, we have a
trans-
text actually from somebody who said their baby monitor would pick up stuff all the time.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
got to
would
be
hear these
terrifying.
Foreign voices on this speaker coming out of nowhere. So, yeah, that's creepy stuff. I'm sure. Katie, did you respond to them?
My husband does. Most of the time, they don't respond back.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. That would freak me the hell out.
Thanks, Katie. Appreciate it. Speaking of voices out of nowhere, I keep hearing
Me too.
what is
So did
that?
I.
background.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what that is?
You can talk to Marissa about this one because it's when she is talking to the next guest. For some reason, it's bleeding through our Zoom lines.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I was like, I thought there was a speaker in this room somewhere.
I want to see you.
Yeah. Let me go to, we're going to get another Zoomer up, and I believe we're going to talk to Randy now. Yo, Randy, good morning, bud.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
Chilling. So
Your ear looks phenomenal. We have a nice little close-up of your ear right now. There we go.
Is that good? You like
Did you take Zoom lessons from my dad?
you want my nostril too?
Oh, this is the best. All right, Randy, go ahead with your story, bud.
So I was redoing all the landscaping on my house, like a full job, taking out everything we had. So I was covered in 10 kinds of sweat and dirt. And my father-in-law calls and says he's getting ready to open the pool. Can I pick up a bunch of bleach and head over to help him out? So I get in the car and I stop at the store and I get 12 gallons of bleach. And the girl says to me, "You need anything else?" And I said, "Yeah. Do you know any dark wooded area with little to no people around? Just scooping around."
Oh my God.
And she just like no comment, no nothing. Figured it went over her head. So I get back in my car, I'm heading to my father-in-law's. Next thing you know, I got lights on behind me. Get pulled over, and the cop's coming up to the car with his hand on his gun.
Oh my God.
Hands on the wheel. Hands on the wheel.
Whoa.
Like deadly serious. And I'm like, oh my God, all right. So I know to comply. So I'm behaving and I go, "Officer, please, can you tell me what I did? All I did was make a left turn." He says, "With your left hand, stick your hand out of the window, open the door and step out of the vehicle." And the whole time you hear like a lot of chatter on his walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
So I come out of the car and he goes, "Where are you coming from?" I said, "I'm coming from my house." And then he goes, "Stay right there. Put your hands on the car." So I have my hands on the car. I hear him talking or whatever. Well, turns out the girl thought I was literally trying to hide a body.
Oh my God. Well, listen.
The cops on me.
Good for her, though. I mean, she doesn't know you. Did you acknowledge in that exchange with her that you had been joking?
Not even a little bit. So the best part is that she goes out and follows me to get my tags. The car's registered to my house. The cops go to my house. I got this landscaping project going on. I got holes dug up all over the place.
Oh my God.
They're knocking on the door. My wife's hard of hearing. She's not answering.
Oh man.
So they put out. Now the best part of this story is that after they come to the conclusion, and my wife tells him my husband probably just made a stupid joke after she finally answers the door. I go to my father-in-law's, I get everything done. I go home. Now the wife is lecturing me and screaming at me that I'm an idiot. And she's going, you're not some college frat boy making stupid jokes, all right? You're not in college anymore. So I go, "Oh yeah," and I rip my shirt off and I scream, "Spring break!" I go running down the street. Well, the neighbors think there's a domestic dispute. Call the cops.
Oh my God.
The same cops show up to my house.
Stop.
Come on.
So twice in one day, I had to explain to the cops that I'm just an idiot.
Oh
God,
my God.
Wow.
That is a home run of stupidity. But kudos to that cashier and to your neighbors for thinking and trying to intercede on a domestic dispute.
And also, Randy, we need a guy like you at our Keenan's live broadcast for the opening of the Jersey Shore.
I'm happy to come.
You're going to fit right in. Oh, my God. Thank you for sharing that story, man.
Great story.
All right, we'll see you later.
Could you imagine? You got drawn down on him, and then the same cops respond?
That's phenomenal.
That's great.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Casey, question. We're going to go live on Fox Good Day this morning. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, we got one more.
Okay, let's do that. Please bring up Dave, and we'll get him on. Hey, Dave, you're on with us, buddy. Good morning to you.
Hey, guys. I'm glad I caught you.
Excellent.
Just quick story. Middle of the night, about 2 a.m., my house alarm goes off. So the siren, starts sounding. I jump up, out of bed, grab my my gun, and I'm standing at the top of the steps, assuming somebody's in my house. The alarm company calls you, right? And they go, "Hey, your alarm went off." Well, they told me it's a glass break sensor. I'm like, well, okay, that means a window broke and something's definitely in my house.
Yeah.
So I'm screaming down the steps, right, waiting for somebody to come up.
Yeah.
I have kids, I have the whole family upstairs. And they're like, "Do you want the cops to come?" I go, "Yeah, send them, send everybody. Like, send everybody you got, And so here the cops show up. I scamper downstairs, in my underwear to let the cops in. And they search the whole house. Nobody's in there. Well, near as we can tell, the night before we had been decorating for my daughter's birthday the next day. And we assume a balloon popped, setting off the glass break sensor.
Oh, my God.
sending the cavalry over. So there I was at the top of the steps, I guess screaming at a balloon, right, with my gun drawn down the steps.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Listen, you didn't know. You didn't know. You protected your family. You did what you had to do.
Yep. Oh,
from a balloon. Yeah.
Yes,
I love it. All right. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, bud. Yeah, man. When you feel your space is violated, when you feel that there's potential danger in your home, it can make you hyper. Everything, either hyper aware or hyper scared, or you go into hyper protection mode. So, yeah, if you're just jumping in, Kathy heard mystery voices coming from a room down the hall. Turns out it was a walkie-talkie that her son had, or her son's friends, or something like that.
Yeah, well, they were Jace's, and my niece and nephew were over, and they were playing with them. They were in different rooms and talking to each other, and I guess one got left on, and it picked up some police scanner.
Yep, and led Kathy pantsless to head down the hallway and find out what it was. So, but I'm glad you didn't call 911.
Yeah,
that would have been
me too.
a little bit awkward. So, all right, thank you for sharing those stories. Those are solid, man. We're going to take a quick break, come back in a second. We'll get some more stories in the form of the Bizarre File, and we will also check in with Mike and Alex on Fox Good Day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.
But they're saying yes, instead of alcohol, although it may get you to the party.
Have you ever used like a horny goat weed? We talked about Viagra. We've all
herbal remedies and things like. Nah, I don't believe in those at all. I don't even believe in quote unquote aphrodisiacs.
Yeah,
oysters and.
What about amnesiacs?
Guys don't need aphrodisiacs. We just need a hand or a mouth, and we're good.
Yeah,
right.
And then if it's a girl,
right?
Right. What happened to the other parts?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, just to get us started.
Anything. Yeah. No, I'm at a certain point though. The warranty comes due, and you may need some assistance.
Hand or a mouth and produce, whatever.
The hand is stupid. Use the produce.
Yeah.
I saw a root from a tree that looked like a vagina the other day.
Perfect. Did you bang it?
No.
It was still
playing
in the
golf.
tree. Yeah.
But I'm good.
Fellas,
Turn them on.
Give me a few seconds. I'm going to go bang this tree.
Radio personality arrested banging a tree.
Why did you do that to me?
It's like Lord of the Rings.
Life.
Two Towers.
Oh my God.
This guy just tried to have me sexually. He banged the knot behind me. Scared the owl that was living in it.
That is the first time we've ever had a talking tree.
Yeah.
On the
is
show.
that what they sounded like on
in Lord of the Rings? Yeah.
They had deep voices, yeah.
Huge, big voice. And
What you doing back there, buddy?
The owl.
You scared the owl living in my knot. That's my knot sack.
Well done. Well done.
Oh, Samwise. We just had a threesome with a pine tree. I'll be pulling splinters out of my sack for years to come.
By the way, did you see the guy who won the gold medal in last year's springboard? Last Olympic springboard?
No.
The dude from Russia failed to dive yesterday.
How did he do? What'd he do?
He belly flopped. So,
by the way, Casey, can you do that new prep that they do?
No.
What is that?
I don't know.
It looks like they're tripping.
Please explain.
All right. So before, when Kathy and I were diving, you would have like a 3 or a 4 step approach, a crow hop, a jump,
as you're leading into the dive, you do 1, 2, 3.
Bam, up.
Like,
Right.
All right, so when you're
Casey's
and that's
going
called,
to demonstrate
that's
this
called
in the
prep.
studio.
All right.
So now they have this thing where it's like 1, 2, skip.
Yeah, that's what they do. I've tried it in my living room. I will admit this, and I can't quite get what they're doing.
Me neither. I don't know why they do it.
Is it the Dorothy skip from The Wizard of Oz?
We could do that, Steve. We could. Be on the Olympic team.
How would you skip, Kathy? What would be your skip?
I mean, I would just do the traditional skip, right leg, left leg.
Let's time you.
It would be hard. What, all the way down the hall? Yeah, down the hall.
You have to do a lap, right?
Olympic skipping.
No. Do it down the hall.
That's European style.
This is your starting point right here.
All right, Olympic skipping.
All right.
You want me to go first?
So,
Okay.
Olympic skipping. Do we need a video crew for this? Hold on. Okay. All right.
All right. There's your starting point.
All right. Skippers, take your mark. Set. Go. And she's off. She's skipping down the hall, and she looks happy while doing it. So now she's coming back. Here we go.
No.
Push
Whoa.
it. Push it. Go. Time.
All right.
Wow.
You going to try it or no?
Yeah.
I was going to use Wizard of Oz method, but
Hey, it's just like diving. Whatever your approach is, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Watch out down the hall.
All right.
People cheering for us.
All right.
Here he goes. He's warming up.
Yep, he's doing.
Get limber.
All right. Do your Michelle Jenneke dance. All right. Skippers, take your marks. Set. Go. All right, and he's off. He's off. Oh my God, he's doing this double skip.
Now he skips like
Steve. Oh my God, does he look insanely? He looks way too happy while doing that. He should be coming around the corner any second now, around through the kitchen, and here he comes. He's still doing. He's doing the double skip. All right, I think he's not going to beat your time, Kathy. And time.
wow.
double footing it.
Oh, yeah.
Double footer.
You crushed it.
I got the gold.
All right, let's do one more because Nick wanted to take you on, and we'll see if he can beat the.
Oh, Nick's wearing sneakers. Kathy was going barefoot.
Yeah.
That's a different approach too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was double skipping and I screwed it up.
Nick's loosening up.
Okay.
And Skipper, take your mark. Set. Go! And he's off. And he is skipping furiously.
He's a terrible skipper.
He might actually get injured.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to be our injury for sure.
Yes. Let me know what. All right, here he comes around the
Wait
corner.
a second, he might win.
About to cross the finish line and across. Time.
Close. 16.67 seconds.
What?
Kathy retains the gold.
Thank you.
Damn it! Oh my God! Look here.
Wow, I thought he had you. Olympic skipping. I'd say that's definitely an event down the road.
Try doing that. Try doing it Wizard of Oz style.
I might go with
that was
it.
pretty
I
awesome.
might start training.
I think I can beat you.
Can you beat my time? Well, are you doing it Wizard of Oz or straight
No,
ahead?
I'm doing straight ahead skipping.
Clearly, Wizard of Oz is not the way to go.
But funnier.
Was it funnier?
Yes.
It did look good, Steve.
All right, watch out, Marilyn.
Watch out, Marilyn.
All right, here we go.
Come on, we're competing.
Skippers, take your mark. Set. Go.
All right, Preston's off, and he is. Well, he is. No, wait a second. He looks like a charging gorilla.
Is he just running?
He's just running. He's no.
No, he was skipping.
What is that? Are you kidding?
Oh my God, dude.
You look like a charging gorilla.
Wow. We have set so many world records in the past couple of weeks. You shattered the world record, Preston.
What?
With a time of 13.6.
Yes! All right. Do me again with my new method of skipping.
Okay.
Oh,
man.
I think I hurt my ankle.
Oh, you're the injury?
Yeah.
My new method of skipping.
Okay. Steve, you want your tags on?
Olympic skipping.
Okay, all right.
Ow.
Okay.
All right, Skipper, take your mark. Set and go. He's off. Oh, he's running. He's absolutely running. And here he comes. And
Yes!
Wow.
That was my new method of skipping.
New world record.
Hey!
no, he broke his gait.
He got DQ'd.
He got DQ'd. I was skipping. What do you mean?
I will say the turns were a little difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, they were, right?
Yeah.
I pulled something down there. My left ankle, it was already bothering me. I don't know why I did that. That was
Why did
stupid.
you do That was the funniest hardcore skipping. Woo!
I know. I think I had a look of intensity on my face.
You did.
I stumbled across this. It might have been late last week. I didn't get a chance to bring it up to you guys. But Panda Express has come out with a new tool. I wish Bobby Lee was still here. A new tool that could forever change how we eat Chinese food, eat Asian food in general, because the chain may soon be introducing a chork or a chopsticks fork hybrid in its restaurants.
All right, how good are you at chopsticks?
I'm real good at chopsticks.
I'm pretty good. I don't eat a lot of Asian food.
My whole family is good. We just started in, just for fun, because I think it's just a thing that culturally it's kind of neat to see how,
once you got it, you got it.
Those. Yeah, and once you get it, it takes a little practice. The only one, my daughter, she still uses the little kid chopsticks that they make with the rubber band and the little thing.
Has a little spring action.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. You want to get good at chopsticks? Get a bowl of peas and just start.
Yeah. Try to pick those out.
That's how you get good.
I'm good at it. I'm pretty decent at it to where I can eat rice, noodles, stuff like that. No, rice is a bitch. It's tough to scoop it under and get it all to stay in one bit on your rice.
It
but
is
you can do it.
Besides, if you see hardcore, Asian restaurants and people who are Chinese restaurants, there's a scooping process.
There's a little bit, for sure, yeah. But they want to do this chork thing.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's for Americans.
Yeah,
I know.
That's weak sauce.
I have a chadle, which is a ladle and a chork.
A chork and a ladle?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you use that for?
Conversation.
All right.
I have no idea how to use chopsticks.
No kidding.
No idea. Can't. It frustrates me. I don't eat a lot of Chinese food, I will say, but still, I mean, I've tried and I just can't do it.
This is
Jace is better than me.
You will think I am being weird with this, but it involves male genitals to practice.
I don't see the correlation.
All right. I'm just suggesting that
you
you're
show her off here.
Yeah.
Kathy, you should practice with it. And
I've tried. Well, I probably should.
You've done the Kathy version of try.
Do you know what happens though?
Ew, this is gross. I'm stopping.
Well, it's not
deference
gross.
to
I
you,
just don't know how to do it.
A lot of times
I don't like it. I can't do it.
Ew, this is like the hand. I don't get it. Kathy, sometimes they make inferior chopsticks that are far too thin. I like a little girth on my chopsticks. Do you agree, Preston?
Yeah, they do make some that are heavier,
right?
As well,
got a little weight to them. Yeah,
the ones that are not just the real. Yeah, Kathy.
Yeah,
I'll show you how to do it.
What's happening?
I know,
no,
but
you're not doing it right.
But you're not doing it.
I'm using a fork.
And there she goes. She's done. And
Use
there
the
it
channel.
is.
It'll get you from England to France very quickly.
All right. So anyhow, they might be doing this thing. Basically, what it looks like is a fork on one end instead of one piece. One handle that comes out the other end of the fork, it splits out into two pieces, and it's plastic. So I assume you can just kind of squeeze it and use it that way. So, yeah, everybody's got their own little technique of chopsticks. You do it like that. I do mine a little bit differently.
What do you do?
Here, can I see those pencils, Carter?
Yeah. So I use the index finger and the thumb, and I use the clamping motion is done by lowering the index finger.
I do it like this.
You're a little different than me, Steve, but similar approach.
I anchor it on my ring finger, the bottom one.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Ring finger like that. Yeah.
That's kind of what Casey, I think you and I are pretty similar.
Pretty similar.
Kathy, you nailed it.
Oh my God, you're more.
Do you?
Jesus Christ, you'd starve to death. We'd be visiting you
Maybe I should
in a
eat with chopsticks.
Chinese hospital. I can't eat. I can't eat anything.
Kath, how'd you lose so much weight?
I started eating with a chopstick.
This might be a great idea. I think if I start eating everything with chopsticks.
It's a total body workout. Chopsticks.
So anyhow, it's called a chork. There's something else that's going on today, and we touched on it a little bit at the end of the show yesterday because I didn't realize it's the big day for Marissa.
Yeah.
Dinner on Blanc is taking place.
Yeah.
Do you follow Marissa on Instagram?
Yes, I do.
She's been posting all sorts of Dinner on Blanc shots.
I want to know, how do you get invited to this?
Oh, God,
Somebody will come up to you. Just stand out there. You are coming to a Dinner on Blanc. Here's your envelope. There will be a DNA reader outside the subway station.
A DNA reader.
You. What is your name? You're a little girl. Marissa? I like you. You amuse me. We'll see you tonight at Dinner on Blanc. Bring one chair, one table with a tablecloth. Of course, all
Blanc. You do know what blanc means, don't you?
That's part of the test.
Yeah, it's part of the test. Yeah.
Yes, you do know.
I'm not denying that
You're
it's
delightful. All right, I'm not letting you come unless you twirl around until you faint.
How do you get invited?
So you join the group. Since I've done it since the beginning, I'm in like there's layers that you join in. I get to sign up in the first group. There's 3 groups, so there's a long waiting list. And they send you an email that says it's open.
It's going to be a wonderful time.
But listen, no.
At 10 o'clock at night, we're going to poke.
WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Expertly
you're
done.
welcome.
Any moment now, we will hear some music start to rise up, and there it is. Check in with Fox. Good day. Here we go.
Okay, folks. Preston and Steve are with us now. So we found this study, Preston and Steve says, if you hurt yourself, like you hit your finger with a hammer or something, do you curse? Apparently, the more voracious you are with curse words, that lessens the pain. So we were wondering, on your staff, who would cuss if they hit their finger with a hammer? Steve? Would it? I said, I don't think it's you. I don't think you're a cursor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely I am. Absolutely. I might mix it with the King's English, but I will string together an array of curse words. I think every member of this show would curse. When every one of us.
Yeah.
Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Without question. And it's interesting, though, as far as curse words go, the man who uses the F word more than anybody on this program is our own Casey. Regularly, he uses it as a filler word. But Casey also does something the rest of us don't do, and he replaces curse words from time to time with words like sugar.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know
crackers.
why you do that, because you throw the F-bomb around more than anybody I've ever met.
It's because when my kids were little, like I never ever cursed in front of them, and it was always like sugar or cheese and crackers.
But now we'll hear, oh golly, mother effer.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing. It's like, no, it doesn't quite work. You know, but they've said when I work out, when I'm exercising, and studies have proven this, the letting go with expletives is a better way to train when you try to go HE double toothpicks or golly, it doesn't quite work.
Right.
Yeah, you need that robust, visceral curse.
I feel like it's similar, though, if it's along the same vein. Like, Mike makes fun of me because I say fruit. Oh, fruit.
Instead of F-bomb.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like at work, you can still be aggressive with fruit.
No, you can't unless you're a crazy produce salesman.
You need a hard consonant at the end of the.
Yeah, you need those K's. Those a clear delineation.
Mike and Alex, you know who actually curses the most here at everybody at MMR is Pierre Robert.
Please say it's not Kathy.
No, it's not Kathy. It's Pierre Robert. When the microphones go off, Pierre curses like a sailor, and it's almost hilarious, except if he's mad at you.
Yeah.
He once, when he spills coffee, and he does it fairly often, you will walk by the studio, and you will think you're listening to a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's unbelievable.
But it'll go. He'll be off air, and he'll be like bang, 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 and then he'll flip on the mic like right after that last F bomb, and it'll go 93.3 WMMR. It's everything that rocks. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see you later, guys.
See you next
You know what I haven't realized until recently is that, speaking of replacement curse words, my grandmother on my mother's side, who is devoutly, insanely religious and very, very, by the book.
Yeah.
She would say the word foot. Oh, foot. And I didn't realize that that's a replacement for the other F word. And chose the word foot because it starts with an F, and it's like this close to saying that. And at that point, your intention is
there.
It doesn't matter whether you actually say that word or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just shut the front door. Does that work for you?
No. But you know what? Listen, I mean,
I say the other day, I said, shut the effing front door just for
That
fun.
works a little
Shut
bit
the C word.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, if you need that hard consonant at the end, you just change the U to an O or an A.
Change the FU to CO.
Yeah. Wait, what?
In the F word, change the FU to CO.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
You think that'll work?
I think that'll work.
That'll temper it just a little bit if you do that. Wow.
See, I fixed it.
My dad would say, Jiminy Crickets.
Was your dad was not a cursor?
No, he was, but sometimes he would, I guess when I was a little kid, he would say stuff like that. He would say Jiminy Cricket, but I assume that Jiminy Cricket was a replacement for Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean?
We were treated to a whole conga line of curse words, a la Darren McGavin in A Christmas Story.
No, my dad cursed a lot too, but when I was a little kid, I remember hearing these replacement. Did they have any replacement curse words? Probably not in your family.
I really remember.
No, we didn't get replacements either.
No. Okay. All right, let's do the B file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Camelback Mountain. You can join Marissa, Casey, and Nick at Camelback Mountain's 20th annual Pond Skim. It's Saturday, March 22nd. Going to be the wildest end of season party on the slopes. And you can go to camelbackresort.com and get your details. Here's a follow-up story that we're going to start with. A woman is going to spend decades in prison after she murdered her elderly roommate and then poured Mountain Dew on herself in an attempt to destroy the evidence.
What? She poured Mountain Dew on herself to destroy evidence.
Police responded to a call regarding a fire at a residence, and when they arrived at the home, they found a deceased 79-year-old man on the second floor of a burning home with signs of blunt force trauma and stab wounds. Police also found a bloody knife, 2 cell phones near the victim's body, one of which belonged to the man's roommate, 37-year-old Nicole Max, who was not in the area when officers arrived. Now, they found Max at around 3 a.m. walking without shoes near a restaurant holding a knife and a hammer. The officer that found her said she had blood on her leg and on her shirt, which was ripped. Police asked Max where she lived and if she knew the victim. She said she had been homeless for 4 years and did not know the man. She eventually admitted that she did know him and lived with him for a short time, but that she did not see him often, at which point she also admitted that she was not homeless. Max was taken into custody for questioning and said that she had never entered the victim's room before, but occasionally went to the second floor to, quote, feed her spiders. When officers told Max that they were going to take a DNA sample from her, she asked for a Diet Mountain Dew. They gave it to her, and then she began to procrastinate while drinking the soda until a detective eventually tried to take it away from her. And then she began to resist and then started pouring the can of soda all over her body and hair and pulling away from officers in an attempt to interfere with the possible evidence on her body.
You'll never get evidence now.
Max then began pulling and kicking officers while trying to secure Max in the vehicle, and due to her actions, she was charged with tampering and with evidence and resisting violence. They got a positive match between the DNA on the knife.
Oh, so the Mountain Dew didn't foil the evidence.
Near the victim's body, and the DNA they eventually recovered from her. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison, the minimum for her charges.
Fellas, we'll have to let her go now. She's covered in Mountain Dew.
Police are appealing for help from the public after religious paintings, including one that read, "Thou shalt not steal," was reported stolen from a church. Stolen from a church in eastern UK.
Can't you read?
The 3 paintings were reported stolen from St. Andrew's Church in Little Steeping. The items, all housed in heavy wooden frames, included a painting of the Lord's Prayer, the 10 Commandments, and one of Moses giving the commandments. While the exact value of those paintings is unknown, it holds sentimental value to the church and its members. Police said the church did not show signs of forced entry, and they're urging anyone who may have seen the paintings for sale, either in person or online platforms such as Facebook Marketplace, to come forward.
Is there the slightest bit of guilt when you fence a painting that says, "Thou shalt not steal"?
Yeah, maybe. In Connecticut, a man has been arrested for urinating and then pleasuring himself in the Meridian train station lobby. State police said
trains are so much fun.
That they were notified of the incident by security.
I'm so excited. I'm pissing and pleasuring myself.
The man, later identified as 23-year-old Justin Robinson, had fled the scene before police arrived. After an investigation, Robinson was identified and a warrant was secured for his arrest. He was taken into custody by the Meridian police for an unrelated charge, and then they contacted the state police, and he had this warrant out for him, so he was arrested for peeing and pleasuring himself in the train station lobby, by the way. In Arlington, several people have been injured, one seriously, after horses escaped on Joint Base Meyer-Henderson Hall. Arlington County Police were initially dispatched for possible sightings of escaped horses.
Were they stampeding or were they disguised as people?
Oh, I don't think they were disguised as people. Shortly thereafter, police were called off, but firefighters and medics were dispatched to the base for reports of injuries. A seriously injured person was transported to a local hospital by an Arlington ambulance, and at least 1 to 2 additional victims were being assessed.
Yeah, it could
and
be
treated.
lethal. Yeah.
There was also a report of a vehicle crash associated with the horses getting loose. The U.S. Army has a horse stable on Fort Myer for the horse-drawn caissons used during military funerals at Arlington National Cemetery. The caisson program was actually suspended in 2023 after 2 horses died, leading to allegations of unsafe conditions for the animals. The program was restarted just this January.
Wow, that's off to a good start.
Yeah, they have this happen. Semi-professional paranormal investigator Johnny Turnip.
All right.
It's okay. We're getting Johnny Turnip to investigate.
Has unleashed some huge news to Wales.
This is my sister, Rita Bega.
Wales, the country. According to Turnip's extensive research, he claims to have learned that machines wearing flesh suits are walking among us.
I knew it.
Turnip has also issued this warning. He says that the robots disguised as humans are using their steel trap minds to plot the downfall of humanity.
Here's a thinker.
Reportedly, Turnip made his discovery after being unemployed and directed to his local job club.
Thank you for gathering here as we reveal the findings of the Turnip report.
It was there that he realized that Mike, his job coach, was really a cyborg on a mission to harvest my unique knowledge and skill set for the benefit of AI. Son of a bitch. So you have been warned.
Can you short them out anyway? Are they resilient to water? Could you bathe them in Mountain Dew?
He has not come to any conclusions on that as of yet. And then finally, in a quest to determine what Jesus Christ actually looked like, a biblical researcher, Dr. Meredith Warren, has confirmed that the Son of God had an amazing physique and that he would have had washboard abs.
Well, he worked out. And they said he looked a lot facially like Josh Groban.
They said that he would make the ladies of today swoon. That he would swoon. He would make people swoon and probably some men too. Warren says that today's muscular depictions of Jesus probably weren't too far off the mark, including the washboard abs, because of his physically demanding job as a carpenter.
And he was also a physical trainer.
Warren adds that, like the rest of us, like the rest of the local population, Jesus would have had brown skin, brown eyes, and his hands and feet were probably rough and calloused. That's according to her.
Who was there was that bit, the SNL bit in the first season of the 2 girls talking about how hot the biblical depiction of Jesus was, because he's always depicted as being kind of cut up.
Yep. All right, and that's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. We're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, a little bit later on, comedian George Wallace on our show. We'll be back in a moment. Stay put.
Preston and Steve.
Oh, God.
Listen, it's all part of it. They do that to make it so that it's it's special that you get invited, but you're not going to not get invited if you want to go.
Are you sure?
Well, there is a waiting list.
See?
But they say there's a waiting list, but they want to make this as big as
Mr.
possible.
Lauer,
Yes.
did you say? We're booked up. Why don't you take your string and silly putt in? Did you say Juniata Park? Is that a place? Is that an amusement facility?
Can you bring Gary Lauer with you tonight, please?
Should bring Gary Lauer. Bring Gary Lauer in plaid.
This would be the last dinner on Blanc ever.
Fidelio.
with a kilt and no underwear on. Look at my balls.
Jesus.
Look at my balls.
Those are white.
Yeah.
Hey, Marissa,
my balls are Blanc.
Kathy found this video of a group of people. They look like, dancers or something along those lines, doing
they're clearly dancing.
this perpetual motion exercise of sorts. And you keep doing this loop over and over and over.
All right.
There's no way we're going to be able to do this.
Well, also because everyone, save for height, is about the same weight.
But not only that, I just think the mechanics of it.
It's hard.
You got to coordinate.
We're skippers.
Yeah, man.
The only thing that I'm a little worried about is how will we start?
That's the only thing you're worried about?
Let's do it.
I'm worried about the number of ankles that are broken. And
It's like Beastmaster.
Oh, it is?
It's
Yes.
Beastmaster.
All right, I got to scratch my nose. Hang on.
What did you do?
Knocked him in the face.
You just smashed They just smashed their faces just by scratching your nose.
Oh, my God. You made me punch myself in the face.
Wait a second.
Dick.
Just to appreciate this, we haven't even. All he did was scratch his nose, and 2 people are injured. We haven't even done the move yet.
This is never gonna work.
I went up to scratch my nose, and Casey assisted my arm by shoving his forearm up, which my hand was attached to, and I popped myself right below the eye.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster.
I'm gonna have a black eye.
I can't. It's working.
I can't. You gotta come up.
It's working.
You gotta come up.
Casey,
there it is.
Nick,
There it is.
Nick,
I got it.
It worked. It worked.
It started to.
I'm still standing.
It started to.
I thought we were going this way.
No! All the way down, Marissa. Let your weight pull her. And there it goes.
Wow, that was unbelievable.
Same time.
All right, so the issue is go.
See? Here we go. Now you gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move.
Almost. It's
Nick was just observing.
That was perfect.
That was the closest
It was
so
close.
far.
And you know what it really
Nick was
was?
sleeping at the wheel.
It was.
I thought we were just trying 3 people.
Lean down. That's it. And to the left. Here we go.
Casey, put your feet
Now we're going. Now we're going.
Hold me.
Dude, it's working. It's working. It's working.
I give up.
We got it.
That was. Yeah. Are you kidding? And in motion, a flowing human river. It's sort of working.
Keep going.
It's It's just a sea of bodies writhing. It basically looks like a bad orgy. This looks like an inept orgy. This looks like, you know what it looks like? That looks like remedial gym class. Serving, rolling, it's working. And again, remedial gym class.
Oh, my hands are in the air.
And Kathy's head is resting on Preston's ass. Casey's dead, and Marissa's crying.
Is your shin broken?
There's severe injuries, and Nick is just standing there as if he showed up to class late and doesn't know what to do.
I don't encounter people with headphones in other than around here.
Do you know
at work? I don't encounter them that often.
When I'm out, when I go on my hike or when I'm taking the long walks, and there are people who are clearly walking along or jogging or whatever with the headphones in, I don't talk to them. I do the one thing that I do all the time though, Preston, that drives me crazy. When I'm walking and someone is I will nod and smile and I'll say hi, how are you? And even without headphones, people just don't respond to that.
Some
and
people don't.
I know that I'm a scary looking dude, but I'm being pleasant. I'm trying to be cordial and just, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, but I rarely get a response.
Whenever I see somebody wearing headphones, if it's on a plane or wherever, I like to go, what are you listening to? What are you listening to? Yeah? People love that.
What are you listening to?
What are you listening to?
I have a perfect moment yesterday when Nick and I were leaving the building to go to Slash the Tires yesterday. God. We took the stairs.
Forgot to tell you guys this.
We took the stairs down.
Yeah.
And there was a guy coming up the other way, a flight up, and we were on the way down. We passed him on the stairs. Nick was wearing a purple shirt. I mean, like a bright purple shirt. And the other guy was wearing a bright purple shirt. And Nick goes, hey, it's Purple Shirt Day. And crickets, nothing out of this guy at all. And we started cracking up immediately. He just was not going to acknowledge Nick whatsoever. And I think he looked him in the eye and said it. And he just, nothing.
Isn't that weird though? You look and say, how are you?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was just being friendly. You know? Yeah.
Hi. Or just
looking for a
smile. Hey, yes. Yeah, I guess so. Even I would respond. And, I would, yes, sure.
Not everybody is as gregarious and
gregarious. Gregorian monks.
Gregorian. Nobody chants quite like you do, Steve.
Today is Purple Shirt Day.
His head is in his hand.
Gregorian. Nobody's quite as gregarious as you.
Today is Purple Shirt Day.
Oh, God.
Gregarious is what you're thinking.
Oh, but I said Gregorius. Okay, sorry. Oh, jeez, oh, man.
Buckingham Palace is now hiring. The Royal Household website has several job openings, including one for a full-time live-in housekeeping assistant.
Oh, this is role for Anne Hathaway.
The listing reads, this is no standard housekeeping role. You'll work and live in stunning historic settings, ensuring that they're presented to their best for colleagues, guests, and, of course, the royal family. Aiming for the highest standards, you'll clean and care for interiors and items from carpets and furniture to historic vases and irreplaceable paintings.
All while constantly being reminded that you're lower-class filth.
You'll take care of guests and support special events, too.
You are, for all intents and purposes, a donkey.
And in an environment where development and training is commonplace, you'll be able to...
no longer a human being. You're a piece of mobile furniture.
You'll be able to grow your skills far beyond your immediate role. So the job pays only around, it pays about $22,000 a year.
It's prestigious because once you leave that position, you are in demand.
But what's cool too is meals and housing is covered. So you live there and you get fed there as well. So
whatever the queen does not finish will go into a small tray, and you may pick at that.
They give you the scraps.
Yeah. Anything that falls upon the floor is yours as well.
I'm perfect for this job.
And once the royal corgis have finished with their calcan, you can go and eat that as well.
Royal corgis. You're second to the dogs.
Position will include occasional whippings.
The candidate will also get 33 vacation days.
Well, that's not too bad. Well, that's Europe for you.
Yeah, pension and access to recreational facilities. So you're only getting $22,000 a year, which you would think for that position it would probably be more. But housing, meals, 33 vacation days, pension, access to the recreational facilities, that ain't too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's
You'll
pretty good.
occasionally be called upon to provide sexual favors for the Queen Mama.
But yeah, this community down in Texas, there's a foot fetish guy who is targeting the real estate community, and that's where he's decided, these are the people that are easy to track down.
That guy's pretty threatening, though. I read the article.
Is he pretty threatening?
Yeah, like he says, I know where you are, and if you don't send them, you'll need protection 24 hours a day. That was one of the texts he sent.
Send pictures of your feet?
Yes, or
really?
Yeah.
That's a very malicious foot fetish dude.
Yeah,
Honest to God, I mean, if that started to happen, I would have to act like I was totally into it. Be like, oh my God, I want
to suck your feet.
I'll suck your feet. I want to meet you.
I'll suck your feet harder
because he
suck your feet so hard.
Suck your feet so you
so
can't
hard.
even you suck at sucking feet. I'm a sucking foot sucker.
Foot sucking machine.
I'm a sucking machine. Suck those nails right off your feet.
Right?
All right, you're scaring me.
You've taken it too far.
Right? I mean, that's just sick, man.
You think you know how to suck feet? I'll show you how to suck feet, you foot sucker.
Suck those toenails right off. I'll suck every corn off your foot.
Oh, yeah, Stephen, suck that toe.
Suck
on
that
that
toe.
Suck it hard.
Suck that toe.
That's not how you suck it.
Let me show you.
I never thought I'd catch my daughter sucking a man's toe. But if you're going to do it right like this.
You foot sucker.
You foot sucker.
You're right, Casey. Turn it right back around on him.
Right?
Just out creep him.
Right.
If you possibly could. I wouldn't have the balls to do it though. There's no way.
Suck your feet. I'll suck up to I'll take your whole foot. I'll take it all the way up to your knee.
Up to the ankle.
No, yeah, I'll catch up with you later about that. All right.
Hold up.
What? Whoa. What are you doing?
There's a Squirtle right there.
A what?
A Squirtle.
A Pokemon?
There's a
Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Oh, yeah? Where is he?
He's like
Where is he?
Like right by your balls.
Right by my... Right here?
Yeah.
Right here?
Well,
I got him?
A little higher.
A little higher?
A little higher.
A little higher?
A little bit. Keep
Go.
going.
I'll get him!
Ow! 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 Ow!
Did I get it?
You got him?
Got
All
him.
right. Yeah! Woo!
It was Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul?
Right. So he tweeted yesterday that he had done this thing on Siri, which suddenly took off. It became
I want to hear this.
Right. So if you ask Siri to divide 0 by 0, it has a very bizarre response.
Okay.
And we have the audio.
All right, here we go.
Imagine that you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, it doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies. And you are sad that you have no friends.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. I love it.
So I showed that to my kids yesterday.
What are they doing?
They got a big kick out of it. And then...
It works. It clearly works.
So now my son does this thing where he asks Siri, hey, call me... do the high grandmom. Okay. And then...
That's amazing.
But you can tell me in Siri settings.
Oh, I didn't do
WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. By the way, real quick, just going back, I just noticed these texts that came in because I had a bizarre file story I had about the biblical researcher saying that Jesus would have had six-pack abs because he was a carpenter. I get this text says, I'm a carpenter and I'm 300 pounds.
Yeah.
There's another one that says, I'm a former carpenter. I was not in good shape.
Yeah.
Just broken. That's what they said. So thank you for chiming in. Hey, before we do anything, a couple of shout outs and actually a couple of emails I want to pass along to. This email says, good morning, Presbo. My name is Craig. I'd like to send a birthday shout out to my amazing wife, Mary Beth, on or around March 7th. Her birthday is on the 9th. She is a teacher. I'm a couple of days early with this.
That's okay.
So she's a teacher in Camden and a longtime listener to the show, as well as being a wonderful educator and loving wife. She was pivotal in my recovery from addiction.
Oh, that's amazing.
And just can't say enough about how much she means to me. Thanks in advance. And that is from Craig Butchhofer or Buchhofer. So here's a shout out to Mary Beth, and I'm sorry I'm a little bit early on that. I got couple of things from Cardboard Classic I want to mention. This one is from Brittany Stampone, and she says, hey, Presbo, I was at the Cardboard Classic for the second time ever with my husband, his third time, and of course we had such an awesome time. However, I did get hit by a sled about halfway down the hill, and I had to get stretchered out.
Oh, was that her?
So she was one of them.
All right.
And so here's an update on her.
please.
She said, I thought my ankle was sprained, but thankfully I was okay with just some bruises around my legs and a sore foot. So, nothing major.
She was hit by a land speeder, right?
I don't remember.
Okay.
There were two that went into the crowd on the sides and one that flew into the crowd at the bottom. She says, I want to give a juicy shout out to the medics and personnel who took care of me. They were so kind and wonderful, not just to me, but for the others that we saw who got injured as well. See you all soon at Keenan's.
All right.
Brittany Stampone. And she says, P.S. My husband thinks the super hot girl you guys have been mentioning was a member of the medical team, and he agrees, by the way. So here's a shout out for you. Glad that you are doing okay. There was another Cardboard Classic one. Yeah. This is from Scott Firmstone, who was on the live casino sled. And he said, hey, Preston Steve, heard you guys talking about our working slot machine.
Yes.
On yesterday's broadcast. Thought we would send along a quick video of you for you to see. And if you listen close, you can hear the casino sounds in the background. Like they had all the ding, 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 and all that stuff going
on. A marvel of engineering.
He said our team spokesperson is Matt Verisby. And we also happen to be the Wawa guys from last year's winning sled.
Well, they know what they're doing.
No wonder that turned out so well. Thank you for your time, Scott Firmstone. So thank you, Scott. You guys were incredible. And then this is just here's another shout out. It says, good morning, Been a long-time listener back to the Y100 days, and for The better part of the last decade, my daughter, he writes it out phonetically, daughter, has been listening along on the ride to school. Well, on February 22nd, she passed the test for her learner's permit.
Daughters?
And most likely will have her license by August. And I know my days of morning car rides with her are limited. I know. And I want to enjoy them while they last. Please send a big Jonathan Davis shout out to Hannah at Manheim Township High School for passing her permit test and being an awesome co-pilot. You guys rock, and that is Joe Hicks from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yeah, take that time in, my man. Enjoy it while you can. And then one last thing, this is not a shout out, but our friend Mel wanted me to make everyone aware, in case you did not know, that Glenside St. Patrick's Day Parade and Festival is taking place for the first time ever. It is this Saturday, and the parade is at 1, and the festival is in Keswick Village, which is a really cool area.
It is.
2 to 5 p.m. on Saturday. And this is the first year it's happening, she said. So she wanted us to make everyone aware.
That's
that
awesome.
If you want to go to
Yeah.
an early St. Patrick's Day parade, then
They've been doing it for 2 weeks already.
that's where you want to do it. All right. I think, there's been a lot of developments in the world of science and medicine. Let's go to the Just Saying Institute.
The Just Saying Institute, home of the #1 rated Kathy Romano pants-free home security service.
It's true. All right. So a scientific push to bring woolly mammoths back from extinction.
They've been working on this for a while.
They have, and it has resulted in, at this point, a very hairy mouse.
Okay. All right.
Now we need to make it mammoth.
Scientists at Colossal Biosciences have genetically engineered mice to exhibit traits reminiscent of the extinct woolly mammoth.
The woolly mouse?
By editing 7 genes in mouse embryos, they produced mice with long, thick, woolly hair.
Imagine primitive man chasing the woolly mouse.
What do they do with this thing?
Yeah.
Well, they're just these are the beginning stages of whether or not they can do it.
But why
so
are they
have
doing
to
this?
they have to take steps.
Well, how does this benefit the planet to bring back a woolly mammoth?
I heard a really cool thing that they can actually tamp down some of the tundra in Siberia, and thereby there's actually impact when it comes to global warming. That some of the tundra contributes to the global warming in ways that I don't understand. But if you were to if you bring back the woolly mammoth and it tamps down the tundra, is it the butterfly effect, which leads to blue whales turning into predators? I don't know.
Right.
But there are these scientific benefits, Casey, that are theoretical, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're exploring it.
Maybe they're too worried about whether they could, not whether or not they should.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do admit, would I like to see a full woolly mammoth living? Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we should.
Right. The company aims to apply similar genetic modifications to Asian elephants. So that's the next. I don't know if it's the next step, but it's a step along the way. Maybe the next they'll go with an otter, and then after that they'll kind of slowly work their way up the chain. A cow,
something, a woolly cow.
The company,
or they're going to jump right from mouse to elephant.
Aims to apply similar genetic modifications to Asian elephants. The closest
How about a goat?
The closest living relatives of mammoths. To reintroduce traits like dense fur and cold tolerance. The company plans to continue refining their techniques with the ambitious goal of producing a mammoth-like calf by 2028.
Size-wise, how percentage-wise, how much bigger was the woolly mammoth to our current day pachyderms?
This is a very good question. I'm not really sure. Rochelle's grandfather was instrumental in creating this area in Missouri. He was a politician in Missouri, where they found buried mastodon bones, and he created Mastodon
Wow.
Park.
So was he a
because of
paleontologist
that.
as well?
No. He just thought that it was worth designating this area as Mastodon Park and leaving all the things intact. But I'm not really sure how big a mastodon is compared to woolly mammoths and elephants. Nick just pulled this up. A mammoth, specifically a woolly mammoth, was genetically around the same size as a modern African elephant.
So it's not that big a leap. I've in what we see of drawings of them and the reconstruction, their tusks were much larger, correct?
I don't know. I've seen those pictures. I know the ones you're talking about, Steve, but I'm not really sure. It says here there are some variations. A mammoth might be slightly larger, but not considerably slow. Nick, can you see how big a mastodon is?
Yeah.
Yeah, because now I'm curious. Now I've got mastodon on my mind, which should be a song.
Mastodon King.
Yeah, mastodon on my mind.
Also about the same size as an African elephant.
Huh.
Okay.
So how, in that time frame, Nick, how big was the woolly mouse?
Much smaller. I would really like to
Size
see
of a car.
I want to see a woolly mouse. I want to see what the end result of this.
There are
scientific-
pictures.
Are there?
Yeah, I saw them this morning.
All
You-
right.
You can pull that up, Nick. And what is this? Is this mastodon on my mind?
In my mind.
And I've got a mastodon.
Oh my God, this thing's adorable.
Isn't it? It's cute, right?
It kind of looks like a mutant gerbil.
Yeah. It looks, Kathy, it looks like a bad hair day gerbil. That's what it looks like. Wow. All right, so that is, they've taken that step.
Yep.
And by 2028, they want to have a woolly mammoth calf successfully bred.
It is kind of cool. It looks like an 80s rock star mouse.
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah, he's using moose for sure.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. All right, got some other things. Here's a study that I saw that says perhaps our body temperature isn't 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or at least not anymore. A woman, while laying down while feeling sick, posited that very theory on TikTok, citing research that the more common average body temperature of today is actually 97.9.
Is there any science to back this up?
I've got some of this. So she said, should we adjust our idealization of when a fever actually happens? She said, I have a normal body temperature of 97.6, but I feel horrible, but my temperature is only 99.1. Her late January video racked up more than 500,000 views and 1,600 comments, with many users sharing that their temperature also tends to skew lower than 98.6. So why do we think of 98.6 degrees as healthy? And when are we actually sick? So they dive in this article, the question about where the number 98.6 came from. It was based on millions of temperature readings of 25,000 people in the mid-19th century by a German physician, according to Dr. Julie Parsonet and the George DeForest Professor of Medicine and an epidemiologist at Stanford Medicine. In Leipzig, Dr. Karl Reinhold August Wunderlich wrote down what he thought was normal, then looked at differences between men and women, age and time of day of people. And the research, while not flawed, was based on people's lives about 170 years ago.
I have determined that peoples is peoples.
She said, we are not the same people that we were in the middle of the 19th century. When Wunderlich studied temperatures, life expectancy was in the late 30s, about half as long as Americans live today. Parsonet said that people didn't have access to regular health care, antibiotics, or adequate living standards. Illness and death from tuberculosis, pneumonia, dysentery, and syphilis, among other illnesses, were common. Altogether, people dealt with constant inflammation, putting our immune system into overdrive to fend off pathogens, which raised our body temperature. In her study, Parsonet analyzed over 677,000 body temperatures measured orally from 3 different cohort populations in the U.S., spanning nearly 160 years. Researchers found body temperature has decreased over time.
It has decreased because of the body is not fighting as many pathogens.
Yes.
Interesting. So do you, I assume this is a medical fact, that some people will run warmer naturally and some people will run cooler.
Yep.
Can you tell without taking your temperature if you have a temperature? Are you correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, like, only dangerously so, not slight fluctuations.
Right,
like when I feel sick, I'm like, I think I got a fever.
I cannot remember the last time I had a temperature. And yet yesterday, I think you're reporting a story about whatever it was. Maybe it was measles. They can get someone up to like 104 degrees.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, I never, as much as I get sick, I just had COVID, never had a fever.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens every now and then to me. I can't remember the last time I took my temperature and found out that I was, had a fever. But man, it kicks your ass.
Yeah.
A fever will kick your ass.
It's enervating. My son was
tremble?
sick. My son was like sick a week or two ago, and Steve, you and I were chatting about this, I think, before the show last week. But Ben had a fever, and then sort of the developments of a cough, and he could tell that he was getting sick.
Yes,
and one of
yes.
the first signs was the fever, and he's like, the knowing that you're getting sick is almost worse than the actual sickness. Like the anticipation of being ill and knowing that it's right around the corner.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
But definitely, Steve, chills, sweats, both of those things going back and forth. That
About
can
your
happen.
BMs, I always have to ask.
I don't check on those when I have a fever. Dozens of other studies have found lower temperatures since then. So in a follow-up study, Parsonet and researchers found average body temperatures ranged, and so it depends on the person, Steve.
Yes.
97.2 degrees to 98.4.
Okay.
The normal temperature they found, if you do an average, is closer to 97.9 degrees.
You know what the best
So-
temperature is? 93.3.
That it is. So this is a 2017 study found. So women have higher temperatures than men, and older people are usually colder.
I'm cold.
Other factors determine a body temperature, such as time of day, cooler earlier in the day, height. The taller, the colder as heat spreads, and weight as well. Heavier is usually warmer. But that's a part of the reason why you will see an elderly person on a summer day
bundled up,
wearing a sweater.
Yeah.
So they're generally colder.
I'm freezing my balls off, you old bitch.
Parsonet developed.
No, man, what's with the cardigan?
Parsonet developed a personalized calculator to determine our
I think I'm
normal.
going to start a fire by burning you.
A normal
goddamn loons
body temperature.
Shut up!
Temperature by sex, age.
I'm going to kill you.
Weight, height, and time of day.
Yeah.
So-
So on average, then women are warmer, right? So which is weird because
They always feel cold.
Yes.
Yep. There's shirts that say, yes, I'm female, and yes, I'm cold. So given our range of temperatures, it's hard to say when someone is sick if you're solely going by body temperature. Typically, a temperature above 100 degrees is considered a fever, but this may not be the case for everyone. Someone could be really sick and not have a high temperature. For example, older people often don't mount high temperatures even when they are ill, but having a fever is usually a telltale sign that someone has an infection
So if
as
you're
well.
hot-blooded, should you check it and see?
Check it and see, please. So especially if 103.
That's dangerous.
So people should check a range of their symptoms, especially as the flu has reached record levels.
What
of
if you're cold as ice?
Same band, by the way. Interesting. All right, so I thought that was something to a little food for thought there
Yes,
on whether or not
interesting.
you actually have a fever or not. Our temperatures are a little bit lower than they used to be. All right, another story. Just Saying Institute.
All right.
One of the world's most prolific blood donors, whose plasma saved the lives of more than 2 million babies, has passed away. James Harrison died in his sleep at a nursing home in New South Wales, Australia, on the 17th of February. He was 88 years old, known in Australia as the man with the golden arm. Harrison's blood contained a rare antibody called anti-D. I had an anti-D when I was a little boy.
absolutely.
Which is used to make medication given to pregnant mothers whose blood is at risk of attacking their unborn babies. So this guy was very important.
I have blood that is apparently very suitable for baby transfusions. I really need to get in and donate again because they always are requesting it. And I don't know if it's the same thing. It sounds similar to it. I kind of half listen to when they're saying it. But yeah, it sounds like it's a similar thing to what I have.
The Australian Red Cross Blood Service, who paid tribute to Harrison, said that he had pledged to become a donor after receiving transfusions when undergoing a major chest surgery when he was 14.
Isn't that amazing?
He started donating his blood plasma when he was 18 and continued doing so every 2 weeks until he was 81.
Wow.
In 2005,
Wow.
he had the world record for most blood plasma donated, a title that he held until 2022 when he was overtaken by a man in the U.S. Harrison's daughter, Tracy, said her father was very proud to have saved so many lives without any cost or pain. She said he always said that it does not hurt and the life you save could be your own.
It's the truth.
The anti-D inoculations protect unborn babies from a deadly blood disorder called hemolytic disease, of the fetus and newborn, or HDFN, and the condition occurs at pregnancy when the mother's red blood cells are incompatible with that of their growing baby. The mother's immune system then sees the baby's blood cells as a threat and produces antibodies to attack them, and this can seriously harm the baby, causing severe anemia, heart failure, or even death. Wow. It's unclear how Harrison's blood came to be so rich in anti-D, but some reports said it had to do with the massive blood transfusion that he received when he was 14. There are fewer than 200 anti-D donors in Australia, but they help an estimated 45,000 mothers and their babies every single year.
I guess you would know if you've donated blood in the past. You would know that if you have anti-D.
Oh, they'd let you know. I would imagine.
And they let me know, but I don't think I think mine is a little bit more frequent. This is a lot more rare. This kind of blood that this gentleman had, but
yep,
pretty amazing.
Yep. All right, let's go to another scientific study. We're going to move along from medical stuff to agriculture, actually. Fruit salads will never be the same again thanks to scientists who have developed bananas that don't go brown and mushy after being peeled.
It's a godsend for you guys.
Yep. Me and Casey are daily banana eaters. It's what I have for breakfast every day, have for years and years. It's just easy to eat. I like the way it tastes. And
comes in its own package.
Yep. And but the ripeness is
critical.
It's a skill. It's a learned skill in picking out bananas if you want to get like a full 5 days out of their freshness. And Casey and I compare our bananas.
Yeah, Wednesday bananas are usually great, but
Wednesday bananas are usually the best. Yes,
you don't have to just get let's say a banana comes in a bunches of 5, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to. You can mix and match your bananas.
I know.
You know
I try not to.
Yeah, I know, but like
you are in pursuit of the perfect bunch.
Well, I'm in pursuit of a perfect banana per day.
Regardless, okay.
Yeah, so and sometimes it depends on when you get to your Acme, but sometimes the bananas are slim pickings, depends on the day or whatever. So if it is more of a slim picking thing, then I will mix and match my bananas to make sure I get a good one.
Maybe get 2 ripe ones and then 3 green ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the way to go.
Yep.
Okay, so what about the various things that we've heard over the years about how you store bananas and how you sort of help massage along their ripening?
Just keep them out on the counter.
Yeah, but there's also that little plastic what's it that's on top of the stems.
Yeah, you keep it on.
Yeah, the hosel.
And that will actually slow down the aging, the ripening process a little bit.
It's basically
the hosel. That's a golf term. So British experts have altered the fruit's genetics so it remains firm, fresh, and yellow for about 24 hours after you peel it.
Oh.
Even when it's sliced, which is great. It's the only reason I make fruit salad every week, and it's just kind of my snack and go-to. And the only reason I don't put bananas in there is because they go mushy very quickly. And this might actually help it last.
Would you, though, in like banana pudding? Bananas can go mushy and it's not a problem.
Right. Yeah. And I think they kind of hold their integrity. I think they're protected by the pudding a little bit.
Yeah, the pudding.
Yes. Pudding, what it can do.
It's my understanding that the pudding is help preserve the bananas. Could you look into that for me?
I do I found I don't know if you call it a food hack or not, but it's a way to make protein pudding. So you just take like regular, pudding, but you got to go with the sugar-free stuff.
And you pleasure yourself into it.
You pleasure yourself into it. No, I wouldn't do that. No, you use like Greek yogurt.
Oh, God, yeah.
And you just use that, and that's how you make your protein pudding.
So you know what rocked me out of my socks, Preston, was I get Greek yogurt, and I use some of that Cape May honey.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Holy,
good stuff, yes. So, according to Gilad Gershon, the chief executive of Tropic, the biotech company behind the breakthrough, he said, no more slimy brown bananas.
No more!
He said our variety stays fresh for at least 12 hours after peeling and slicing, and after 24 hours displays 30% less browning.
I wonder what the texture of it. Would you notice a palpable difference in the texture when you ate it?
Well, Gillard says the bananas have the same taste, smell, sweetness, and texture.
All right.
The same everything we know and love, except the flesh doesn't go brown as quickly.
And they bleed.
And that means that you can add them to fruit salads and cut fruit products, opening up a huge new market for bananas. The company has worked out how to target the genes responsible for production of an enzyme called polyphenol oxidase, which causes the browning and disables them. The technique is different to genetic modifications as it makes precise changes to an organism's existing genes without the introduction of foreign genetic material.
What if it is the introduction of this type of banana that causes the global rage virus that kills us all?
Might be worth it.
Yeah.
Tropic already has the go-ahead to sell bananas in the Philippines, Colombia, Honduras, the USA, and Canada, where it will launch later this month. They're also working on a project aimed at slowing down the ripening of bananas so they stay green longer, and that will cut waste. As for every ton that makes it to the shops, 2 tons are declared inedible.
Is that so? The majority of them are considered inedible.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. What at a loss?
Yeah,
So they're doing a lot of innovation here.
Bananas are picked when they're green, like tomatoes, and what we're doing is knocking out the genes that are responsible for the production of ethylene, a plant hormone which helps change the peel color from green to yellow by breaking down chlorophyll.
Any plans to put a banana into orbit?
It got to be, right?
Yeah, I would assume.
I bet you it's already been done.
All right, so that's good news in that world. All right, here's another one. Music is known to have a profound effect on humans. And according to Healthline, it can improve memory and help lower anxiety and depression. But do dogs enjoy listening to music as much as people do?
I was wondering this before when I listen to music in my car because I listen to it loud. And I was like, okay, my dogs have better hearing than I do. Am I blowing out their eardrums right now?
It's a good question. So recently, I was hepped to the notion, Preston, that dogs respond very well to reggae music.
Really?
And so I've been, sometimes I'll leave and put on reggae music.
You've noticed this or read this?
I read this.
Okay.
And then I came back and my dog Kizzy was sparking up a fat one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Studies on the effect of music on dogs is limited, especially when compared to humans. Some evidence suggests dogs may be comforted, as in feeling less stressed or anxious, when listening to classical music. Researchers from the Sydney School of Veterinary Science examined 9 studies of the effect of music on dogs in 2020. Their findings, published in the Journal of Animals, indicated that the classical genre soothed canines as the pups exhibited calmer behaviors like lying down, resting, sitting, etc. When the music played, that's when they would relax. And it's important to note that many of the previous studies took place in typically stressful environments, such as veterinary hospitals, boarding kennels, and rescue shelters, rather than in houses.
So they're responding in areas where they're going to be a little more tense and more on edge. They've noticed these results.
I guess. Amy Campbell, a certified dog trainer, told the Dog Care Services website Rover that not all classical music has the same effect. Some pieces contain loud sounds that might actually induce stress. The animals also seem to have specific musical tastes. A 2023 study in the Journal of Animal Welfare found that heavy metal music causes stress in shelter dogs.
You'd imagine.
As many barked as the music played.
What about Josh Groban?
And you may have heard of dog music before. If not, it's exactly what you think. They're tunes made specifically to relax dogs. There are several free playlists of such songs on YouTube. But the 2020 study found that dogs didn't appear calmer when listening to specialized music, a collection called Through a Dog's Ear in this case, compared to regular classical music.
Have you seen the dog channels that are available that stream? And you can find them there. Our friend Shannon was sitting a dog, and she sent a picture, and this channel is nature, but it's things like squirrels jumping up on a stoop, and the dog is just sitting there kind of transfixed. That's funny. So it seems to have that sort of calming effect.
I haven't seen that one, but I have seen the video where the dog gets scared of Darth Vader.
Yes,
on the screen for the
goes
first
to the
time.
side of the couch. Yeah.
That one cracked me up.
Yeah, it's weird when you see dogs on, videos reacting to television.
Yeah.
My dogs have no idea the TV's even on.
Not even aware,
not even acknowledging any of it.
Well, is the frequency, something that they can't, because, like if I FaceTime with my family and I'm like, hey, Reg, he doesn't hear my voice.
He won't hear the voice. Well, what about respond to the picture?
No.
So, have you ever thrown a FaceTime up on the full TV?
I don't think they even pay attention.
Okay, I've seen some that do. Some dogs really like to watch CNBC for the financial. But no, I think ultimately, and there's countless shots they do in AFV, America's Funniest Home Videos, where the dogs react. They do a feature called The Dog Park, Preston, and the dogs hear that music and they react to the dogs up on the screen.
So if you want to try soothing your dog with music, Rover suggests paying attention to their behavior as the tune plays. You'll also want to ensure that you don't have the volume too loud.
Yeah.
And last but not least, check to see if your pet avoids rooms with music, as this may show that they prefer quiet environments.
How often do you have music playing throughout the house?
Throughout the house?
Yeah.
Not often. If we're doing chores and stuff like that, I'll put it on throughout the house. But regularly while cooking, we'll have music on in the kitchen for sure. So pretty much every day.
And the dogs are with you in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's another story from the Just Sayin Institute. New research suggests that, as well as being a probable center for the veneration of the sun, Stonehenge was also a fertility temple.
I got pregnant when I visited.
A detailed study of a partly buried fallen stone at the monument has revealed that it may have been sculpted to resemble a giant penis.
Oh, yeah.
The research carried out by Professor Terence Meaden
I say it's an enormous tallywhacker.
suggests that
Right down to the ball sack.
when the stone had stood upright, it would have looked like a 2.6 meter erect male member.
Gosh, that's a large one, isn't it?
Equipped at its upper end with an 80 centimeter long glans or bulbous tip.
Just the way I like them.
I love the word bulbous.
It's a good word.
Especially when you're talking about a penis.
Professor Meaden has examined the stone in detail and has concluded that its shape was deliberately altered in order to give it a phallic appearance.
We're going to send this one to the Statue of Liberty.
He estimated that prehistoric craftsmen used tools to remove up to 200,000 cubic centimeters of stone to give it that form.
Don't use a jackhammer, you'll make it shoot.
Although no other phallic standing stones have ever been identified in or around Stonehenge, several small carved stone phalluses dating from the Stonehenge era have been found relatively near the monument, just a mile or two from it. Penis-shaped standing stones and carvings seem to have been important elements in many prehistoric belief systems throughout much of the world, especially in Europe and Asia. And Professor Meaden's research suggests that rituals at Stonehenge itself may have had a phallic dimension.
Like penis parties?
Maybe, yeah. The monument's newly identified phallus-shaped standing stone, up till now it was known as Stone 67, now laying horizontally and partially buried, once stood erect in what was arguably the single most important location in Stonehenge and was aligned directly with the midsummer sunrise and the midwinter sunset. The only other stone within the stone circle on that alignment is a 6-ton rock known in recent centuries as the altar stone. Now, it too had been shaped before being put in position, and some evidence suggests the latter stone never stood upright and had therefore always lain horizontal because, in solar alignment terms, it seems to have been deliberately paired with the phallus-shaped standing stone. Professor Meaden suspects that the altar stone may symbolize or represent female fertility or female genitalia.
So it looks like a vagina?
Certainly, it is significant that more effort was expended to bring it to Stonehenge than any of the monument's other stones.
If you gentlemen will excuse me, I feel the need to rub one out.
He said for it was transported probably by sea all the way from northern Scotland.
Wow. They've made some inroads into figuring out how those stones were moved. That great distance. It's impressive. You know. Have you ever been to Stonehenge?
No.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
What is really amazing is that the actual museum, and there's a whole trench system around it, respectfully removed from it, that allows you to go to, so that you're not seeing tons of people milling about. This thing should look like it's standing by itself on the field. So the trenches run around and you actually walk down into the displays.
I know the area's been developing around there, and they've had to...
They put in 5 guys.
They've had to do some specific construction around it to not, impede the integrity of it and everything. But, some people are underwhelmed by it. Of its size. There are many things that are, go-to attractions to see that may be historic in nature. And when people get there, they're like,
And that's it. You know what just disappointed me was the woolly mouse.
the woolly mouse. Yeah. I know that we people had called them, ages ago, we talked about Mount Rushmore and how that was underwhelming. I thought it was awesome.
It was pretty cold.
When I was a kid.
Listen, it's Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
You know, drink that in, bitch.
Yeah. It's a carving. Yeah. But it's huge and it's really, really cool. But some people get there and they go, oh, really? That's it?
Have you guys been to Crazy Horse? It's near there, and I haven't.
It was, when I was a kid, it was just getting underway.
Okay.
Nick, it looked like nothing.
Yeah.
They essentially had renderings of what it was going to look like. And
So they planned to give him a penis?
Supposed to be massive. I mean, they were like Mount Rushmore could fit on the forehead, from what I understand.
It's not even finished. They're still working on it.
It's the entire side of the.
And I was in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Wow, that's how long they've been working on that.
Doing it by hand.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh,
sorry, guys. We have an interview coming up, so we got to wrap up the Just Saying Institute with some good stuff there.
It was
today,
very
right?
good.
Yeah, we
made
tried
us think and twisted our melons.
We do what we can to enlighten you from time to time, friend. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a second. And yes, comedian George Wallace will be joining us, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve. 93.3
That was good enough.
Try it again. Try it again.
Why don't you paraphrase what Siri will say?
It'll say.
Here, let me do it.
Hey, Grandpa.
Maybe try not yelling it so excitedly. How about I try this? One that we're familiar with and won't drive you crazy. I have my phone right here.
Okay.
All right.
A common phone
and
that
so I
you might
asked
find
Siri,
in anyone's home.
I asked Siri to say this.
Yeah.
All right. Hey Siri, can you say, "Hey everybody, it's good to have you on the Baba to ba to Baba Badu Gaga Bapadop."
Who, me?
And is that what happens?
No, it will repeat it. But all right, so I guess my kids have this. Set
Yeah,
up.
you whore. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Casey, why did you throw "Hey Grandma" in there?
Because that's what my son was doing.
Oh,
yeah. Have you ever asked it if it loves you?
No, but I've
I haven't.
Who, Siri?
We're better as friends. It
Really?
responded, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, do you love me?
I'm still working on the grandma blah 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 crap.
All right, so anyhow, here we go. Here are a couple things. What is 0 divided by 0? You get an interesting answer. When is the world going to end?
Tomorrow.
Is the one to ask. What does the fox say? Which is, the song.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Hi, Grandma.
Grandma's here.
I'll give you. It has the answers here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Read me a haiku. Or no, I'm sorry. That's not the answer. This is an interesting question.
I asked you to do something for me.
Why? Don't give a rat's ass. Read me a haiku, or I'll shut off your heating system.
We want to welcome the following: Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Connor Barwin, and they brought with them a rookie. We have Jordan DeWalt on DJ. All right, hey.
Not bad at all.
Casey came up with this plan to have guys from the Eagles in, and we wanted to have offense and defense represented equally, which we have here, which is really cool. So if you guys don't mind, we'd like to play a version of The Family Feud. Starring the Philadelphia Eagles, offense against defense. All right, so here we go. First question. Name something you make sure to clean before going on a date. All right, Lane, what do you want?
Clean your teeth. I don't know.
Your teeth.
You brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Yes. Mouth is the number one answer.
You guys,
so they automatically
control the topic.
You guys get to control the topic now. Okay, so Jason, name something you make sure to clean before going on a date.
Armpits.
Armpits. Nope. Sorry. That is
good
not.
answer.
One more
strike.
Yep.
Okay, and let's go back to you, Lane. Name something you make sure to clean before going on a date.
Maybe your room if she's coming back or he's coming back.
That's
Let's check
thinking.
Survey says. Incorrect.
That's terrible.
That means we go over to Connor and to Jordan, and they're discussing this right now. Name something you make sure to clean before going on a date. Remember, we polled Preston and Steve show listeners. Jordan, what do you want to say?
Your car.
Your car. And Casey?
That's good.
Survey says no. Oh, man, I wish we could all see these so we could say them, like they do on the show.
All right, go ahead. You say them.
Your turn now.
Number 5, underwear. Number 4, the bathroom.
That's stupid.
Clean the bathroom.
Yeah.
Number 3, your ass. And number 2, your balls.
I was going to go genitals.
Genitals would have been good. All right, so who's got the sounder? Jordan? Are you up or is it Connor?
Connor.
All right, Connor's got it, and we have Lane who's got the sounder over here,
Is it
right?
me or you? I just went. Yeah.
All right, whatever. What food do human testicles most resemble? All right. Connor was tapping you, Jordan. He wanted you to buzz in. All right, Jason, what do you think? What food do human testicles most resemble?
How about eggs?
Eggs. And survey says yes! Right. Number 3, we also would have accepted deviled eggs. That's
Someone's got some very smooth balls.
Back over to the defense. What food do human testicles most resemble?
Well, no.
Jordan's thinking about it. Yeah, they get a chance to answer.
Beets.
Okay. Beets? What? Whoa. Wait. Dude, how big are your balls? Beets?
I mean, you are.
And are they red?
He might be right.
Survey says no. Sorry about
When
that.
I get shy, my balls turn red.
All right, let's go back over to the offense and find out what are you guys thinking. Lane, this is your chance to answer. What food do human testicles most resemble?
Plums.
Plums. That is a good answer. Let's see what the survey says. No. Incorrect.
I think plums is a perfect
with plum. You know what?
Correlation.
That's technically.
What?
No.
No. All right. No. All right. Then let's to
It's like that. It's like that. Huh?
to Jason. Yeah.
You're getting hosed.
What food do human testicles most resemble?
I'm guessing that was a fruit that we were. I'm gonna go grapes.
Grapes. And the survey says no. Incorrect. All right, back over to the defense. Guys, what do you think human testicles, or not human, human testicles.
Hey, he's using his phone. My phone was, Google was no help.
Think about the shape and size and what food might resemble that.
What are they?
Like a sausage ball?
A sausage ball.
A meatball.
A meatball. He says survey.
He said sausage ball. I don't think this is acceptable.
Survey says yes! And the defense steals it.
Wow. Sausage.
The other answers were number 5, Rocky Mountain oysters, which are testicles.
Yeah. So that's not
accurate.
But it's a food. It's a food. And number 4, and this is why I almost accepted plums, prunes, which are dried plums,
I think
right?
they are, yeah.
Yeah, so that should
is a
count.
plum.
Well, the judges said no.
No, the one judge said no, and he should change his answer right now because he's wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong, son.
Number 1 food that human testicles resemble, walnuts.
Actually, that's good too, yeah.
All right, Lane and
Final
Connor.
one. This is where it all comes down.
All right, here we go. Which Philadelphia Eagle is most likely to sleep with a teddy bear? Oh, okay. Lane jumped in right away. Who do you say?
Say Jason Kelsey.
Survey says no. It's according to the people that we surveyed. Let's go over to the defense. What do you guys think? Which Eagle is most likely to sleep with a teddy bear?
Say John Dornbos.
Dornbos. Survey says number 5 on the list. That is absolutely correct. All right. Who do you think are the people that we surveyed said?
Well, I'm going to say Brandon Graham because his nickname is Teddy Bear sometimes. I don't know if people know that. But
All right, that's
Survey says no. Correct. 1 strike.
We'll say Tim Tebow.
Survey says
Great answer.
number 1 answer, Tim Tebow. Yes, that is correct.
Great
Yep.
answer.
Okay. There's still 3 up there.
We'll say Sanchez.
Survey says that's the number 2 answer. Correct,
I just got
Connor.
to think about popular guys on the team.
All this is coming there.
I'll say myself.
All right. He says Connor Barwin, and survey said
you're
Incorrect.
man.
All right, Jason and Lane. What eagle is most likely to sleep with a teddy bear?
You can steal it here.
I feel like we just got to pick the most popular.
Most popular. Sam Bradford. Yeah.
Bradford survey says no. That means the defense wins.
This is a highly contested result.
We might have to escort him out.
Over plums and prunes.
The other answers were DeMarco Murray and Riley Cooper. Well, thanks for playing the game, guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks for
Jason,
having us.
Connor, Lane, and Jordan, who are here this morning. Sir Ian McKellen cannot be bought. He reveals in a new interview.
Just placed a call to Chuck DeMarco.
An interview with the Daily Mail.
I can't be bought.
He says that he rejected an offer to officiate Napster founder Sean Parker's wedding in character as Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
That's a little demeaning. For how much?
$1.5 million.
I'll put the suit on now.
You're damn right you will. How can you pass that up? I mean, sure, it's below you, but it's $1.5 million.
I'm trained. How about I'll get the suit now. I'll provide my own beard.
Could you imagine? I mean,
Yes.
Jesus.
everybody's got a price, right?
Bye. F ya.
I'll officiate as Gandalf. I'll do the first dance as Magneto.
And I'll even do a panda bear. I'll do Kung Fu Panda if you want. I don't give a good goddamn. That's good money.
Ian says I was offered $1.5 million to marry a very famous couple in California.
Yeah, a couple.
Which I would perhaps have considered doing, but I had to go dressed as Gandalf. So I said, I am sorry, Gandalf doesn't do weddings.
Well, why not do it and then donate that money to a charity?
That would listen. That's a great idea.
No, keep the money.
Okay, donate.
And donate the wedding to charity.
And no, because here's the deal. I mean, it's just the act of dressing up for you. That's the whole thing, as opposed to for an audience or for a review or something, or a piece of art.
Right.
That's where his beef is, I think. So
is the fear that if he does it for Sean Fanning, he has to do it for anybody else that has $1.5 million?
I don't know. Maybe. He said, I don't go.
It is an honor for Gandalf to officiate the wedding of the situation. Many years when we first saw you and your abdominal muscles on the Jersey Shore, we were all moved with your daily ritual of gym, tan, laundry. But as time progressed, you fell in love with Sophia. And now you two shall enter into the holiest of unions.
May we have the one ring.
I'm so glad Mike D is here, and Snooky, and even Puck showed up from an earlier TV show.
Wow. Oh, God.
That would be weird. Yeah, I could see where it'd be a little demeaning. If they make him drive, if the word was he had to literally show up in costume, or maybe they could set up a place behind the, in the alleyway.
He would have had to have been
me with my my socks on going on. God damn it! Why did I agree to this? I can't get this thing that hooks in the back.
Yeah. It's like 90 degrees, and he's wearing this full robe.
My balls are swimming.
So we had a funeral to attend earlier this week, and my entire family cut the line.
Your entire family cut the line at a funeral, at a viewing?
Yeah, at a viewing, yeah. So let me just set it up for you. Let me tell you exactly what happened.
You have a decent-sized family.
Well, so it was, so here, hear me out.
I know what happened. I'm Kathy Romano.
No.
Could I get a seat closer to the coffin, please?
No. So my mom showed up right before us, and so she was in line. My mom was in line. Me, my dad, and both my brothers came a little bit later. Well, we came at the wrong time. We pulled up. The parking lot was full. The cars were on the street, down the street. The line was through the room. out into the lobby area, down the hallway, out the door, and down the sidewalk.
So it's a hopping.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Our next guest is co-starring on the Norman Lear show Clean Slate, which is airing now on Prime Video. And he is one of the most naturally funny people I've ever met. We've had the joy of having him here in our studio before, and we love welcoming to the program Mr. George Wallace today. Hey there, George. Good morning to you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, congratulations on being on this program, George. Were you a longtime fan of Mr. Norman Lear?
Well, we were friends since 1993.
Wow.
I did a show called 704 Houses Street. That's the house that the Fockers used to live in. And I had another show offered by CBS, and I chose to go to my offer. And I told Norman, we will work together again. I wanted to reboot Sanford and Son. So I went to Norman Lear. I said, let's do it. He said, well, come back with a twist. And at the time, Orange is the New Black was the show, and everybody was talking about Laverne Cox. I never saw the show, didn't know anything about it, but I knew about her struggle. I said, it sounds like somebody I want to work with. And I said, what if I had a son that left Alabama, went to New York City to do his thing, to be who he wanted to be? 23 years later, I get an email, says, Dad, I'm coming home tomorrow. I tell the whole neighborhood, my son's coming home. The next day, ding dong, I go to the door, most beautiful lady you've ever seen in your life. And I said, I'm sorry, you got to go. My son is coming. She says, Dad, it's me. So my son has transitioned to my daughter, and it's Laverne Cox is my daughter, and my mouth dropped for 15, 35, 45, 50 minutes. And
wow.
I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say, but I do know one thing. The show is called Clean Slate. Everybody deserves a chance for a clean slate or to forgive and start over. And she has to learn about me. I've got to learn about her. But it's all about love. We're teaching love here, no matter what. That's my child. I got to love my child, no matter what.
Well, and it says, and I've seen a couple of the episodes, and one of the things it says in a review I was reading in The Hollywood Reporter says that your character of Harry Slade seems more upset by the fact that she's become vegan. That's
some BS right there. I didn't have to know about the transsexual thing, but the vegan. I want to let everybody in Philadelphia and New Jersey listen right now. All you vegans and vegetarians, y'all gonna die on schedule just like everybody else. Okay?
Oh, that's phenomenal, man. Now, listen.
You ever notice all the vegans look like they need to eat some meat? They look a little weak.
Listen, I really appreciate you doing this. I have one of my children is trans, and it's a scary world that we're living in right now. There are people that want to demonize these individuals, which just really gets under my skin in a horrible way. And I'm happy to hear that you guys are doing the right thing and showing people that love is the answer here, you know?
You know what's good about that? You said on your team, when you get to work with people and you find people, find out who they are, you know what? Everybody's doing a good job, a professional job, and you found out after it's like the environment you live in. You can love everybody if you get to know somebody.
That's a great point. Spend some time talking to people. So important. So with this, I want to go back to what you said about Sanford and Son and maybe the influence that Red Fox had on you personally, George, when you were growing up.
Well, not only growing up, I had an opportunity to write for Red Fox. When he left Sanford and Son, he went to a show at ABC called the Red Fox Variety Hour. So I learned about, way before that, I listened to something called party records.
Yes.
It's supposed to be dirty records, and kids not supposed to listen to those records. When my parents went to church, guess what? Bam! Put those dirty-ass records on.
No, I clearly remember Red Fox, the Red Fox, and they were records, and there would be parties. There would be the adults would gather to listen to these. These albums, and they were as blue as you could get.
Well, not as blue as today. We thought they were blue then, but today it's nothing compared. But I tell you what, we weren't supposed to. You tell a kid what they can't do, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you now. The show was it's on Amazon Prime, and it was shot in Georgia?
Savannah, Georgia, most beautiful city. Oh my goodness, Savannah has grown, and it's still growing faster than any city. One of the fastest growing cities in America. And it's just beautiful there. And it has the same atmosphere as Mobile, Alabama, where the show is based. So
Are you
Sony has a studio there.
It's a Sony studio. I was wondering if you're shooting at the Tyler Perry studio, but it's the Sony studio?
In Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah. How are you with the heat down there?
Oh, man, when it gets hot, it gets so hot there, it's just people are melting. People with the plastic surgery, you walk along the street and you just see people's face on the street. It gets hot and nasty.
It does. You know, George, I was watching CBS. They did a piece about on their Sunday show about this author who's written about Johnny Carson, this biography that just came out, and they talked to you quite a bit. You had a tremendous amount of appearances on The Tonight Show, and yet there was that delineation between the comedians. And I remember, God, you'd see you all the time, and Johnny clearly loved you, but you never got the wave over, and it's sort of stuck in your craw a little bit, correct?
It does, because I did the show with everybody else. You know, Red Fox also never hosted the show, and his studio was next to Johnny Carson. And Johnny had a little problem with people. He was introverted, and if he didn't think he could talk to you and have fun with you, he wouldn't talk to you. His favorite singer was a guy named Joe Williams. Never went to the couch, and the last day Johnny was on, he was going to the couch, tripped and failed going to the couch, never made it. So that hurt a little bit. And I know my sets were just as good as anybody else's. I did Leno, I did Letterman, everybody that hosted this Tonight Show, I did it with them, but never with Johnny.
Yeah.
So sometimes everybody's not going to like you.
No, and I don't know if we'll ever see a dynamic like that again, where someone was at that level of fame. He was basically a kingmaker. I mean, when Freddie Prinze got up and did a set, I mean, his career was launched. That after that set, Johnny called him over, and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did the show on a Thursday. On Friday, I was in front of 17,000 people. Jeez. But let me tell you something. The new kids are doing it today. Johnny Carson had up to 13 to 17 million per night. But these new kids with social media, and I applaud them, they have 100 million people following them. It's a new world. They don't have to do the Tonight Show. They've got their own audience.
Let me ask you have Thelma Hopkins on the show, who's no stranger to sitcoms, but also going back to Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. Yeah. She's got to be a blast to work with.
Let me tell you something. You know, she's my Aunt Esther. We fight all the time. When you get to the last episode, you're going to go, what is going on?
Oh, that's the best.
That's all I'm going to say. Thelma Hopkins. Thelma Hopkins
Esther.
is so great.
I forgot about that. That's so great, man. Well, listen, it's going to be, it's an 8-episode series. Is every episode available now for those who want to see it on Prime Video?
Every episode is available right now, 240 countries and territories, and it's translated into every language. We went big.
Excellent. All right. Well, you can binge this now on Amazon Prime Video. It is called Clean Slate. It's a Norman Lear show, and it stars this man right there, George Wallace, along with Laverne Cox. Hey, George, great to have you on again. If you come back in Philly, please come see us, okay?
I will be back, and I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
All right. George Wallace, man. Yeah. He's great. We had Derek Pitts here yesterday from the Franklin Institute, the chief astronomer. And last time Derek was in, we had George Wallace in the studio. And Derek was like, oh, my God. He was like starstruck. He's like, can I stay? Can I meet him?
He was going to see him that night with his wife.
Night.
Yeah.
And so, it was really cool. I don't
remember
that. Remember that?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It was
He
excellent.
freaked the hell out.
Yep. Hey, we have a few minutes to play with, and there was a story that we had yesterday. It was in the Bizarre File, and we haven't talked about this particular topic in a bit, but it was, let me see if I can find it. It was about a dog in California.
Like 35 pairs of socks.
Well, so the owners had noticed that something was wrong with the dog. He had a very firm stomach and was acting a little odd, so they took him to the vet. The dog had 24 socks that it had eaten. Mm-hmm. It had also eaten hair ties and like all the stuff they found in there. And they managed to get this stuff. It went all the way down into its intestines.
So a Burmese mountain dog, correct?
Yeah. Bernese mountain dog. And they managed to get all that stuff out and save the dog's life, obviously. But that leads to the conversation of dogs that will eat anything and everything.
So I had one that, and it wasn't eat anything or everything, but it was the biscuit lady came to the show, and we had biscuits are fantastic, but they are dense.
Yeah.
So I brought them home before I realized Kizzy was, for fighting shelter. We adopted her, and she's a wonderful dog. Was rescued from the puppy mills out in Lancaster, and didn't know that she had this kind of acrobatic skill that the size that she is. So we left. I ate maybe one biscuit out of this big box. I mean, it weighs like a steamer trunk.
Yeah.
And she polished off that whole goddamn box of biscuits. I'm like, it'd be akin to you eating 30 loaves of bread.
Wow.
I mean, and socked it away. And she had this look like of sheer elation and oh my God,
what did I do?
What did I do?
Yeah. Did you guys keep an eye on her?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
so we had the other day, Rook, I've got a boy and girl dog. They're from the same litter, so they're the same age, but he will eat all the time. Now, he doesn't eat foreign objects. He just eats food and will eat lots of it and always wants it. And I gave him a treat. I'd opened up a fresh bag about this big. It's hard to explain on the radio, but like the size of a football, something like that. And I gave him a treat, and I set it in the regular area where we keep the treats and stuff.
There you go.
And I had left the room and whatever, and I come back later, and that bag is on the floor completely empty.
Wow.
He ate all of it. I could not believe it.
And then what you have to imagine is, again, in the time frame that happens, it's like that animal eating, clang, 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 clang. They just don't stop.
No, they don't. Listen, that's food. My friend's dog would eat rocks. And,
rocks?
Yeah, so they had a shed be in their backyard, and the shed was on top of rocks. That's what it was stationed on. And they could not. They had to put boards up on the fence because the dog would, go through, put its snout through the fence and literally eat rocks.
Wow.
Like, and sizable rocks?
Stones, I don't know.
It's still not good for you.
Not good for you at all.
If you've got a story to share, we want to hear about it. Our phones still don't work, so you need to Zoom and just text the word Zoom to 39333, and we'll send you a link, and then we can pop you up and get you on.
And if you have the dog in question with you, please have the dog on the video. We can see them now.
So Fozzie likes paper towels, and he also likes toilet paper. He doesn't like food all that much.
What's with the toilet paper?
Hey, Rook likes tampons.
Yeah.
Eats them. And women's underwear.
Yeah.
Eats panties. Eats them.
Rochelle's?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's crazy. We're like, I mean.
You know what it's about.
I know, right?
But it's like.
I guess there's a.
You put your mouth there.
It doesn't taste, taste.
Their taste buds are different.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't smell a hint of
cooter.
Well, I know I smell that, but it doesn't smell like food to me.
No.
Even though I eat it regularly. But,
Gravy Train does have a vagina line.
But yeah, underwear, used tampons. Kathy, any of your cats or anything? Well, you probably.
Oh, yeah, the cats.
I had a cat.
We'll go after your used tampons.
Just the girl.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, she will dig them and she'll find them. And she's such a weirdo. It's not even just used tampons. She will find the tampon in the wrapper. Like she'll hear me take it out of the cabinet in the bathroom, and she'll come running. And if I have some in my purse is open, she'll go in there, she'll dig around in it, she'll pull it out, and I'll find it like with the paper ripped open and the cotton just laying on the floor. In the
Tampon
house.
time. Cats sure love them tampons.
She runs into my bathroom because I have a trash can with a lid specifically so she can't get to it. And so she'll run in and she'll go right to the trash can with the lid and smell around to see if it's that time.
Kat, the worst thing I had to do with Fozzie, he was in the yard bearing down, and he was clearly having an issue passing whatever he was trying to pass.
I remember this.
And I had to look underneath his tail, and sure enough, just poking out of his hole was the end of a paper towel, and he couldn't pass it. So I had to grab it I put my hand in the bag
Come here,
and then
buddy,
I grabbed
let
it
me
and
help
Now,
pulled it-
just to
pulled it
clean him out, did you reach into his mouth and grab that end and maybe, go a little floss back and forth a little bit?
No, it wasn't in the mouth. It was all in the butt and the intestine.
I'll never understand the tampon thing. We had a cat. One of our cats was just. We had to set something on top of the garbage can with the lid, Kathy.
Oh my
to keep the cat from getting in.
I guess
So
the
weird.
blood is like animal, like meat. I don't know.
You know what? It has to. It definitely.
Then
Is
why don't they have
something
tampon flavored food?
Because
Yeah, right?
Jace had a bloody nose and he threw all the tissues into the bathroom trash can, and she pulled those. My cat pulled those out too.
Here's an interesting one. Nick pulled up a text, says, my dog ate my pill container.
Oh.
4 Xanax, 15 Lyrica, and a bottle of melatonin.
Oh my God.
She was.
I want to sniff your ass.
Says she was okay, just staggering around that night.
Jeez.
And then another one says a friend's dog ate a kitchen knife. It had peanut butter on it. So it decided to eat the whole knife.
How does that happen?
They just, it's like they can't stop. It's like
Right.
you're eating a bag of snacks or something. Like you just can't stop yourself from eating it. I'm just going to eat the knife.
You're right. You never see a pet like stop for a second and hold the treat and look at it and go, yeah.
Appreciate it
Just
for a
really
moment.
loving this.
I know that chocolate is toxic to dogs.
Yes.
But dude, my dog ate an entire box of Whitman samplers and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had a friend whose dog ate a box of chocolates, killed it.
Oh.
Really?
He dehydrated. Yeah, he died.
my
So
God.
you got lucky.
Yeah.
You got very lucky. Wow.
So it says toxic components to dogs found in chocolate are caffeine and theobromine, which predominantly cause stimulation of the central nervous system and heart. So I guess they basically like have a heart attack. It also will quickly lead to dehydration.
Yeah, that's what happened to this one dog, unfortunately.
up.
All right, Lisa is joining us via Zoom this morning. Hello there, Lisa.
Good morning. I'm sorry. I'm just pulling into my driveway.
Thank you.
I had a wiener dog, a dachshund, many, many years ago, like 40 years ago, who ate an entire pound of American cheese off the seat of the truck while I got out for 2 minutes. He didn't poop, or I swear. I got in the car, the windows were down. I started driving, and this lunch meat bag starts flying around the car. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I turn around, the dog's laying on the back seat. His gut is like, he looked like he had a giant beer belly. I was like, he ate that whole pound of cheese. He weighed all of like 20 pounds.
So
He didn't cook
he ate 1/20th of his body weight.
Yes.
I mean, that's astonishing.
It was, I could believe it. He never barfed. He never, but he didn't poop for almost 2 weeks.
Cheese binds you.
There were still slices of cheese in his bowel
Oh
movement.
my God.
I mean, but that's it. There's as you said, Case, it's about food. It's always about food.
Yeah.
When that switch is flicked, they just go.
Dude, dogs are so smart, but they're so dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love them to death, but I'm like,
pound of
sometimes
cheese.
I look at Rook and I'm like, you little idiot. You crack me up. You know what I mean, Lisa?
Oh, I do, because he chewed a lot of stuff. He didn't eat anything, but he chewed anything that, like, the side of the couch that I sat on, my underwear, my socks.
Yep.
He always, I don't know why he hated me. I was the only one that took care of him.
Well, is he still around or did he pass?
I was in my 20s, and his name was Spike. He was Spike the wiener dog. Now, he lived to be about 14.
Had a good life.
It's a good run. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had a
Excellent.
good life. Yeah, but he didn't eat, I don't know how many socks that Bernese whatever mountain dog ate, but that's a lot of
Yeah,
darn socks.
it's a lot. It's a lot of laundry. All right, thank you, Lisa. We appreciate it. Thanks for checking in. They're so goofy.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I love them.
I'm fascinated by the again. This dog, Kizzy, we would put things higher and higher, and it's like this is an older dog.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Found it. So we had to employ all sorts of different tactics, and she's not mischievous, but it's food. It's what they go at. It's everything is food motivated and food based, and that's how they respond.
One of my favorite pictorial series is, and it just popped up on my Instagram feed again the other day. It's from a few years ago, but a photographer we had close-up shots of dogs as you threw a treat to them, and the looks on their faces. And they used, high-speed camera and would catch them with these wild open eyes and outrageous expressions on their faces, and that's the way they eat, man. Just
when we feed Claire started doing this with the dog. When you do dinner, you do a dinner dance. So it's puppy dog eat dinner. You got to do this whole thing.
Yeah.
And the dog just is like, oh my God, every day.
He's ready.
Food's coming. She's
what we
thrilled.
need. All right, Russ is on via Zoom. Good morning, Russ.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're great, man. Thanks for taking us outside for a moment or two. You have a lovely setting there.
It's beautiful out here today. Not really.
All right, so what do you want to tell us, your dog story?
So in college, I had a dog, and we lived, near a college town, and there were a lot of strip clubs around, so we had a lot of strippers in my apartment complex. And the dog liked to do two things. It would pass a girl kind of walking, just back from a walk, kind of look at her, and then kind of look back and give her a little nibble on the tush.
Really?
All the time.
It would
and bite their butt.
Wow.
That's tough. That's a liability.
Yeah, I mean,
right there.
that's an attack, basically. It's not like your goose.
100%. We
Yeah.
did it like twice, and we ended up, having to kind of take action to that not happening.
So, but the thought of moving out of a building that is populated with strippers never occurred to you, correct?
No, that wasn't part of was part of the deal. The other thing he loved was chewing used gum off the pavement.
Oh man!
And you'd be on a walk, and you'd see that black dot on a hot Texas pavement, and he would just go after it.
Oh my God!
It's like sometimes when a dog and it'll happen to dogs occasionally, where they'll get into the eating poop thing. And it's like, oh, my God.
Yep. All right, Russ, appreciate it, man. Have a good one, bud. We'll see you.
Do you know what happens if you have cats and dogs together? Sometimes the dogs will smell the food in the cat's crap.
Yep.
And so you got to make sure the boxes are obscured from the cats.
I know my dogs will, I guess sometimes, I don't know if they eat poop or what.
Ew, it's so gross.
I know. But I love the doggy kisses.
Yeah.
I let them lick my face.
Likewise.
And every now and then it'll be like, oh, get off of me.
Here, take a Mento.
You've been eating turds again. Oh, it's horrible. We have next joining us via Zoom. It says Janelle. Is that how you say your name?
Correct.
Hey, Janelle, what's going on?
So we had a 10-pound Chihuahua mix, and she would eat her own poop. We live in an apartment building. She'd eat the trash in the trash room. Absolutely anything she could find. She'd eat bones, dead animals. She knocked a plate of desserts over, but would not eat the tiramisu. And we still joke about it. She ate the brownies, the cookies, the pizzelles, but the tiramisu, we could smell the coffee on her, but it was the only thing left on the plate on the floor.
So the tiramisu. So would that lead to your dessert choices? Would you tend to favor tiramisu because you knew it was bulletproof?
Oh, it was so funny. We came home the one day and the whole plate is upside down with the foil on the floor. And I'm like, oh my God, she got the dessert. And the tiramisu is just intact. She absolutely no preference for tiramisu. But poop, she
yes,
thrilled.
It's wild when an animal passes on food. I remember my dad one time got swordfish steaks, I guess it was. We had Clem, a Great Dane, would eat would eat cars.
Yeah.
But I remember Clem going over and put in his mouth, and then when a dog expels something it doesn't like the taste of, it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yep.
And didn't pass muster.
That's really strange. All right, thank you, Janelle. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve, my dogs will not eat fresh dog food. I was like, oh, I'm going to do you guys a solid. I love you guys so much. I'm going to give you organic, fresh, refrigerated dog food. They're like, what is this crap?
Yeah.
I'm not touching this.
Look at this. It's the farmer's choice, and it's got this and the grass. I don't care.
Is it because you feed them, you were showing me what you feed them the other day? You had that snack mix or something like that.
Regular party mix?
Party mix.
People food or whatever? No. I don't know why then. No, they love
Do they
table
eat
food.
dry dog food?
Yeah, it's moist and meaty is what it's called. So I mean,
Big and veiny?
it's technically dry, but it has a moisture to it.
Okay, but they won't eat the good stuff.
Yeah.
So we used to buy that for our dogs pretty regularly. Now we have a very specific diet they have to stay on because they have pancreatitis issues and things like that.
Yeah.
But before we would get that refrigerated.
Yeah. And they loved
real meaty stuff, and they would like that. Stuff's expensive.
You know what?
It is.
I
They
was
did like it.
You're thinking about maybe trying to trick them into eating it, which, if I
Poop in it.
No.
Yeah.
If I sat down at the table and acted like I was eating it, then they would be like, "Oh, this is table food."
Yeah, but
Maybe. And then you hand them a bit
Uh-huh.
while you're sitting at the table. That might actually, you never know.
You end up socking
psychologically.
away 2 logs of the stuff before.
All right, we have Matt who is up next. Yo, Matt, good morning, buddy.
Good morning. How's it going?
Great, man. So tell us of your dog.
All right. My dog, when we had just bought a house and we moved in, it had this beautiful gas log fireplace in there. And eventually we noticed the dog would want to shove her head in through the screen and pull the lava rocks out and try to eat them.
Oh, my God. Lava rocks.
Yeah. So thankfully she never actually swallowed any, but so then we had to go ahead and get a screen, to get a fence, glass thing to put in front of it so she couldn't get her head in there. So here it is. Because of that, we've been in this house now 10 years, never used the thing because we know if we take that thing away, she's going to be shoving her head in.
Well, lava rocks would cut you up if you're they've got sort of edges and irregular edges.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
She only ever pulled them out and didn't try to swallow them, but
It's so funny, though, Matt, because a feature in your home you were not allowed to use because your dog.
Yeah. And then on top of that, when we bought the house, my mom moved in with us because she retired and just everything was becoming too expensive on her own. So shortly after she moved in, the dog got into our bathroom, ate stuff out of our trash can, and happened to swallow then a condom. Trash can. And so sure enough, I called the vet because she was only maybe about 7 or 8 months old. And they're all like, well, just keep an eye on her over the next few days. If she doesn't pass it in the next couple of days, call us back. So here I am, a 40-plus-year-old man saying to my mom, hey, during the day when you let the dogs out, I need you to watch her because I need you to know and you tell me if she passes a condom or not.
Oh, my God.
I think of your dog's ass like one of those clown arcade games where the balloon inflates out the ass. Yeah.
I love it. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. We'll see you, Matt.
I just got a text from a friend who says, things my dog has eaten: a whole turkey, a carcass, a jar of peanut butter, multiple tampons, trays of Christmas cookies, a bottle of Motrin, a pound of butter, a pound of ground meat, a pound of ham. It's endless. We have a lock on our trash can. We had to gate our kitchen, which he jumps over.
Wow. So I was going to say, well, you're leaving this stuff out and the dog can get to it, but it sounds like they have a very athletic dog. Yeah, it's a big one,
big
too.
dog. Yeah.
Is it the Bernies?
He could
No.
jump over a fence and jump up on any counter or whatever and get a pound of ground beef or a whole turkey.
Oh, my friend just got a Rottweiler, so it's still a puppy, but he's still a big guy. And she took something away from him on her outdoor panning on the counter.
Wow. I have the weirdest thing that my dogs have ever eaten, and I saw the leftovers of this. So Yorkies were bred to chase after rodents and things like that. They also dig. It's kind of their part of their character. And I guess a rabbit had gotten in our backyard. A big rabbit. Now, these are little dogs. Man, all that was left was from the rabbit's shoulders up. The rest of it was gone.
Yeah.
Had the head, the front paws, and or whatever and it was just, I've never seen something vivisected like that.
It was probably what you would see at like a rabbit cosmetology school.
Yeah.
I think that's good luck.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
If your dog's
all the only thing that's left is the rabbit's foot.
Yeah, people carry
That's
fully
true.
intact rabbit heads.
Yeah. That's true. All right, we're going to go to Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Morning, bud.
Good morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks to you. Your face is slowly coming into the picture here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, so my beagle accidentally ate my pot brownie the one night.
Your beagle ate your pot brownie.
It happens fairly often that people's edibles get taken in by their dogs. How did you find out? I mean, obviously you were going to eat that on your own. Did you just come across it?
Yeah, I was saving it for the weekend. I was hanging out with my buddy on Friday, and then on Saturday I was going to eat it, and then I woke up Saturday morning for work. I worked at mornings, and I saw the tinfoil on the ground in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, crap. And the cat must have knocked it off the shelf.
Oh, yeah, that's what they do.
I see my beagle licking her lips on the couch.
Man.
She still has
She's got dry mouth.
brownie on her lips. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I told my wife, I was like, hey, I got to call out. And she's like, why? I was like, Dixie just ate a whole pot brownie, and I think she might be stoned in the next 30 minutes.
Wow.
Did you notice signs of intoxication or whatever you would refer to it as?
Oh, yeah. She was pretty dizzy. She was drooling, but for the most part, that was like the first hour or so, and then she was just really tired.
Did you put on any jam bands?
We just put on some movies. We just had a Netflix and chill date with my wife and I.
And your stoned dog. Yeah.
And you didn't take her to the vet? You figured you just let nature run its course?
Yeah, she was doing okay. I mean, it wasn't all that bad, and she's got a lot of weight on her because she's healthy. She's fat.
I'd wonder if at the other end,
thanks, bud,
if you were to take it, I mean, literally have some good S, because would if you're just simply eating the pot brownie, if it comes out, is it still potentially?
Oh no. What that you could still use it at that point and get a high out of it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so. I think your body
would absorb
uses up
agents,
everything that it has to give. By the way, great video. It came out a little while back on it was on Instagram of a guy who's running around with a clothes hamper in his house. He's just moving very quickly. My wife's, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm doing this thing where I take an edible and then I try to get all my responsibilities done before it kicks in. I'm like, I know what that's like. And then she turns on, she goes, how's it going? He goes, laundry's looking bad, man. Always the laundry. All right, one more Zoom, and we have Kate, who we're checking in with this morning. Hello there, Kate.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to see you, Kate. All right, so is this your dog that you had an issue with?
So this is actually my brother's dog.
Okay.
So they both live in Brigantine, New Jersey. And while he would be taking his dog on a walk, he was telling me his dog was finding butter packets around the island. And
butter packets?
I was like, I'm not. Yes. And I was like, I'm not okay with this. We're not accepting this as.
We're losing her.
Hang on 1 second. We'll see if we get the signal back.
I want to find out about the butter packets.
Yeah. Kate, you froze up. We'll give it a couple more seconds. Hey, Kate, hang on a second. We lost you when you said you weren't having it about finding the butter packets.
Okay. So I asked on Facebook, a Brigantine group, I said, is anyone else's dog finding butter packets? And sure enough, there's several people saying yes. And someone chimes in who works at one of the brunch places. They say that the seagulls are flying down.
Oh, and probably picking up.
Dropping them like island.
We're losing you a bit, but
your
we got the
signal's
gist of
breaking
it.
up. I apologize. We're going to have to let you go. But yeah, I get the gist of it. So the seagulls are
hilarious.
helping the dogs
Eat
get the butter,
packets.
dropping them around the island, and people going around with their dogs and eating that. Thank you very much, Kate. We do appreciate that. Sorry about the signal cut. Started mucking things up. We do have to take a break. But listen, yeah, it happens. You are not alone. We had when I was a kid, there was a neighbor who had a small dog. I don't remember what kind it was, but just a tiny little dog. And he was of that type that would eat absolutely anything. And they left him in the car to go shopping or something like that, rolled the windows down partially. But while they were gone, they came back and the dog, and this is what they told me, had eaten the dashboard on the car.
Man.
Just not chewed it up. I mean, ate it, was chewing it up and swallowing it.
Okay.
I don't, I guess some of them have, honest, as weird as it may seem, may have a mental condition. You know what I mean?
Well, dogs and cats can get versions of dementia, and it does happen.
I mean, people eat
compulsions.
chalk.
Yeah. Pica, is that what that's called?
Yeah, it's a great pizza place.
That's Pica's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They put the sauce on the top. That's what they do. All right, and there you go. That is what I have for you in this point in time because we have Bizarre File stories on the way next. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. Thanks for chiming in. We do appreciate it. We'll be back shortly.
Preston and Steve.
Hopping wake.
It was the wake to be at.
So it was one of my mom's.
It wasn't bougie at all.
Wasn't bougie at all.
It was one of my mom's best friends. She's been friends with this woman forever. It was her brother. So we knew him. We had met him a few times over the years. Had just recently seen him. Maybe it was a year ago or something like that. But we were there for my mom's friend to pay our respects to her.
Show support. Yes.
So you weren't even super close with this person.
Right.
You figured that you could be obnoxious.
Sure. Yeah, you can cut in line.
No. So my mom was in line, and the line to get up to the family was so long. So the way the funeral home is set up, I parked out.
I'm not doing that.
No, it was not like that. No, just listen. So I parked out back, and there was a back door. So we walked through that door, and they were kind of filtering people because there were other people coming through that door. They were kind of filtering people off to the side to try to get them to go back outside and get in line. It wasn't working. There were other people that were kind of merging into the line, which we probably could have done that. But I looked into the room, and my Christopher goes, "Look, there's Mom," and he just beelined it. He walked directly.
Go.
And they had they had ropes set up, and because there were so many people, they were expecting a lot of people. No, it was Christopher. It wasn't me.
It's like the wake version of Goodfellas, where she comes into the back through the kitchen, and they, what do you do for a living? I'm on radio.
So Christopher just walks right over to my mom and, says, "Hi, Mom," gives her a hug. Now, my mom is maybe 10 people away from the family. So she was right up front. She had yet to reach the casket, but she was right there.
Yeah.
And my dad, not caring about anything, just same thing. He walked over and just he went, "Excuse me," to the people behind my mom and just stepped right in front of them. So now I'm there and I'm like, okay. And so I follow suit. I go over and I say hi. And now my mom is facing directly forward and she's like, "I can't even look at the people behind us. I just can't." She was like,
she's mortified.
Mortified. And I'm like, "I'm going to go sit in the chairs. I'm not going to wait in line so that all three of us have now butted in line. I'm going to go sit at the chairs." So I went over, I sat at the chairs. And then when they got up to the family, I just snuck over and I got in. I said hi to my mom's friend and all of the other family members. Now we're finished. We said hi to the family, paid our respects, and we're now exiting. And they have a line set up for the people exiting.
Some flowers on the way out.
Right.
Listen, it actually gets worse.
Oh no.
So as we're leaving, when I butted in line, I went in front of my mom.
She's wearing.
I was the first of my family. So I'm leaving now, and all of a sudden I see my brother Jim, and he's walking down the exit line.
He walked up the exit line.
He walked up the exit line, ran over to my mom's friend, paid his respects to the family, and then we all got out. Now we're in the lobby, and the people who were behind us the entire time.
I'm sorry, it's fantasy football night.
Right.
Who never said anything. Yeah. I see them walking out, and I'm like, we got to go. I'm like, let's go. I mean, trust me, we were all pretty embarrassed, but
you saved a lot of time.
Didn't want to wait.
I'll tell you this.
Really.
Khloe Kardashian has a thing for basketball players. Of course, her soon-to-be ex-husband,
love them.
Lamar Odom, starred for the Los Angeles Lakers, and now her ex-boyfriend James Harden and Rashad McCants were also NBA players. And it looks like Kardashian has hooked up with another. She was spotted vacation in Cabo San Lucas with.
Yoo-hoo.
With.
You're a cutie. What's your name? Yoo-hoo.
An avalanche starts. Porpoises are beaching themselves.
She was vacationing.
You're cute.
You're cute.
You're a cutie pie. I want to just eat you up. And I literally will eat you. I will devour your flesh and bones. In tribute to Zool.
She was in Cabo with Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I say this with all due respect. If you have had the checkered history with basketball players that she's had, as the family's had up to this point,
right?
Maybe deviate from that a little bit.
But she needs big guys because she's a big girl.
True.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And
then get the who's the
guys
guy
that are
from Game of
taller.
Thrones?
Oh, the Mountain.
The Mountain. How about that dude?
Yeah, that dude is big.
He's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thor, isn't that his name?
Oh no.
Did you get my email about Pine Valley?
Yes, that they have. You can go walk the course.
Yeah, that Crump Cup thing that they have every year. Are you interested in doing that?
I was actually going to play the golf course.
I know, and that's
I have
why
an
I brought
invitation to it. So
Don't you want to walk it first?
Shut up, man. It is the #1 golf course in the world.
In the world.
A lot of people don't realize that. Here, right across the river in New Jersey, kind of near the Blackwood area.
It's in Clementon.
It's by Clementon Park.
Right.
The #1 golf course in the world. According to Golf Digest, according to Golf Magazine. Yes.
In the world?
In the
Is
world.
right here?
Well, then, all right, dare I say the universe. Because
Wow.
I'm pretty sure they're not playing
In
golf
the
anywhere
known
else.
universe, yes. It's called Pine Valley. It's super duper, extremely exclusive.
I read that whole
Just
article
one
you
second,
sent.
if you just 1 second.
Okay. Sure. I've been invited by somebody who knows a member there.
And don't you want to walk it first, maybe?
We were supposed to play like a month ago.
Oh!
The day before.
Oh, Steve, I got something.
The day before I was supposed to play, I got a text from them that said that there was a work emergency and I couldn't go. And
You were so excited.
I'm not even making this up. I'm not saying this figuratively. I literally was having a dream about it the night before. I was that stoked to go.
Steve,
And it hasn't come together yet. So is this the privilege approaching?
Privilege. Privilege, privilege. Privilege, 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 privilege. Privilege, privilege.
Privilege. Steve was showing me a video this morning. The Paralympics are going on right now.
They're fascinating to watch.
I saw two things the other day. I saw, Nick showed me a volleyball player who's 8 feet tall, and he just sit on the ground and play volleyball, but he's an 8-footer, so he's got a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, basically he's taller than the net.
Yeah, and then I saw a guy in an archery competition with no arms.
Yeah.
So he holds the bow and pulls the bowstring back with his feet.
And that requires a good amount of strength.
Crazy amount of strength. I don't know what pound pull bow he was using, but just to position yourself that way is pretty wild. So it got me thinking, us as non-amputees or people born without limbs, are there things that you ever try to do without using your hands or your arms?
Hey, wait, wait a second.
Yeah, Casey found a cup that he
There
can
we
shove
go.
in his mouth.
Mhm.
Now, you could drink from that?
Yeah, so it's actually really hard because you need air to get in there in order, like, you know how, like,
That's what I was thinking.
The old high C things, you would have to have two holes in the top so it would
To let air flow.
yeah.
But also, you generally, to swallow, you need to close your mouth, right?
Yeah,
Do you?
so it's not
I
that
can't
easy.
open it around and go,
Look.
Kathy, you can do that. Oh, Max has it. Max can do it. He's got a huge cup in his mouth, too.
Yeah, this is probably.
Yeah, there you go. Now, say something.
Not quite.
We used to scream into cups.
I got a little light
A broadcaster died during a morning show.
This is all well and good, but we have yet to see you actually drink from that cup.
What is it?
Okay, I got a little bit grossed out because the
It's
water,
a urine color, isn't it?
It is, but you
Is
know
that
what?
piss? Was that apple juice?
No, it's water, but no, it's whiskey. This whole time, guys, I've been drinking whiskey. No, it's water, but I had coffee in there first, so it's a discolored water.
Okay.
Let's see it.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, so with no hands.
All right, so Casey has placed
let's
it
get this on video.
Yeah.
on a tray in front of him.
All right.
And he is now leaning down. He is putting his mouth around it, not using hands at all. See, he's trying to.
That's too big.
So he can't use his hands to put the cup in his mouth either. You don't go ahead and just.
You have to do it without using your hands.
But no. Okay.
Well, I could do it with this one.
All right, use the different cup.
Oh,
he needs a little bit smaller cup. You're going to drink all that, you think?
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right.
It's been a long time, Preston. I'm kind of out of practice.
Am I in the splash zone? All right, so he's now putting his mouth around it. He's trying to. Oh, yeah. I think he needs a little assistance from his hands.
Do you need a little slow jazz?
No, here we go.
What?
He's gonna wrap his mouth around it, and all right, here we go. I want to see this. It's around.
MMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by The Bagster.
The Bagster.
Represented at the Cardboard Classic this
Yes.
year, which is great. And you can buy yours now at any home improvement store. It's just $29.99. Fill it up. They pick it up on your schedule. The Bagster, dumpster in a bag. By Phil Gone. Hang on.
Go ahead.
There we go.
Banana.
Had something in my mouth. It's a little piece of an apple that I just could not get rid of.
All right.
Okay, so a passenger at Boston Logan was stung by a scorpion while retrieving her luggage in the baggage claim area of Customs. The incident occurred on Sunday evening while she was at Logan Airport Terminal E picking up her bags after flying back from Mexico when she was suddenly stung on her finger by a scorpion.
I hear the scorpions like to ride the carousel.
She was taken to a nearby hospital for immediate treatment, and authorities did not immediately disclose her condition following the sting. It's unclear how the scorpion ended up on her bag at the airport. According to the Centers for Disease Prevention and Control, while most scorpion stings are not serious, medical attention may be needed for pain management and wound care, including preventative tetanus vaccination.
Yeah, I wonder how painful a scorpion sting is.
Young children may be more likely to develop neurologic symptoms and need urgent treatment. Scorpions are not typically found in the Boston area.
You would think not.
But over 2,000 species of the predatory arachnids exist worldwide, and scorpions can be found on every continent except Antarctica.
Yay.
An Oklahoma toddler called 911 and asked for emergency donuts, which officers delivered to the child's home.
Yeah. Oh, sure. When we need donuts, you need them now.
The Moore Police Department shared audio on social media on Thursday of the exchange between the boy named Bennett and the dispatcher. The child first dialed 911 and began saying gibberish to the dispatcher before hanging up and dialing again. Bennett then told the dispatcher about an emergency need for donuts. And the dispatcher says, donuts? You want donuts? Are you going to share your donuts? And the child says, 911, it's an emergency. An emergency, dispatcher asked. Emergency donuts, Bennett replied. So the dispatcher asked again if Bennett would share his donuts, to which he replied, no, I'm not. The next day, the police shared that they had fulfilled Bennett's request and had officers deliver a box of Dunkin' Donuts to his home. The officer said in a video on social media, you called us about donuts, and we came to give you some donuts. And Bennett reacted with an enthusiastic yes. The officers opened the box, and Bennett and his older brother each grabbed a donut.
Was he told that this is the wrong thing to do?
In this story, it doesn't say that.
You've just
Steve.
rewarded him for 911 calls.
I am surprised they actually did this because they usually take pretty seriously.
I would have jacked him up.
The misuse of 911.
You little son of a bitch.
According to the police department, the toddler used an old cell phone that can still be used to call 911 in an emergency, but has no other functional use. So
okay, maybe.
It was one of those, and he probably didn't know he was calling 911. So, yeah.
There's an armed robbery going on across town.
The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency faces a legal challenge after approving a controversial plan to include radioactive waste in a road project later this year.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
So the advocacy group says that the federal agency has prohibited the use of phosphogypsum, a radioactive, carcinogenic, and toxic waste generated by the first fertilizer industry in road construction since 1992, citing an unacceptable level of risk to public health.
We've been working with it for a month. There seems to be no problem.
The advocacy group says that
everything's good. It's really easy to mix up and pour. I haven't detected any issues.
The legal challenge is centered on a road project proposed 40 miles east of Tampa.
Oh, I just farted blood.
Blood?
I farted blood.
The EPA approved the project in December 2024, noting the authorization.
My name is Jane Smither.
The authorization applied only to the single project and included conditions meant to ensure the project will remain within the scope of the application. Most of the comments from the EPA received in response to the proposal opposed the use of phosphogypsum in road construction in general and criticized current methods of managing the waste. But the federal agency said these comments were outside the scope of its review.
And we're not going to be riding on those roads anyway.
The agency declined to comment on pending litigation. If you get kicked out of a home and you left some drugs behind,
clap your hands.
Your logical options are few in number. Or you can just do what Christopher Newton did. While police were at the house to remove him, the homeowner said that Newton had texted him and said he had, quote, left a baggie on the nightstand.
Yeah.
The homeowner gave police permission to search the room. They found the baggie full of cocaine. Newton wound up charged with possession of cocaine, and the homeowner wound up with a story to help his friends feel smarter. And then one last story, and we'll wrap it up. If you have a vehicle full of drugs.
Yes, another drug story.
It might be a good idea to follow traffic laws. Officials say that Edward Stewart and Cameo Evans were pulled over on I-80 in Pennsylvania after they were seen following another vehicle too closely while approaching a construction zone. So they were tailgating.
Wouldn't you be you'd be the best driver you've ever been if you were bussing drugs in your car.
Unless you happen to be doing those drugs at the time, and that may not be hard. When officers approached the car, they noticed an unconscious woman in the back seat who unfortunately died shortly after the stop. Yeah. Wow. After a search, roughly 3 pounds of meth were found in the vehicle, along with a large quantity of fentanyl. In other words, don't give police a reason to pull you over if you got a car full of drugs and a dying person in the back seat.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane. And that is what I have. That's why it's here in the Bizarre File. That's what I have for you. All right, we have another break to take. When we come back, let's see if you've been paying attention. Lesson question is coming up. Got a cool prize with that. And we'll get to trash and music news as well. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
On his head back. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, he's doing it.
Gross.
He did it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Good job.
That is disgusting.
It is, right?
Yeah.
You have to, Jen, you're just pouring it down your maw. You're not, there's no swallowing, right?
No. You have to glug a little bit.
Yeah.
Your maw.
But I guess I was maybe a little bit wrong in my initial assessment. I probably did have to use my hands in the beginning.
So Casey has been, he's had a particular brand of yogurt.
I eat Chobani yogurt. I get it. I have it every day. It's just it's my breakfast.
Your
It's what I
yogurt.
have.
It's what makes you.
Yeah. And
And I eat Chobani yogurt too. I do.
But what's the other brand?
Dannon makes a yogurt called Oikos,
Oikos, that's it. Okay.
which I prefer. It's a little bit creamier. So I brought some Oikos yogurt in this morning. I asked hey, have you ever had a chance to try that Oikos yogurt yet?
Because you've recommended it.
Well, here's the first great part about this is that Casey asks as if he's never asked before.
No.
Which I think is what bothers Preston.
He's asked me several times.
You really have to understand the intentions behind my question because it was a brand new yogurt that I have not eaten yet.
Yogurt.
With a spoon that I have not used yet. So the question really was
It's now or never.
I was going to offer him some.
He wants you to try this yogurt so bad.
I asked him. I said, "Oh, have you ever had the chance to try that yogurt yet?" And then he responds. He's like, "No, you asked me that like a year ago." And
No, he said you've been asking me for a year.
That's what he said.
So,
Because it's been a number of times, and so finally,
I sensed some irritation on your part.
Total irritation.
So then the irritation comes to me because I literally, including today, have asked him twice. So he's like, "You've been asking me for a year."
No.
I literally have asked him two times.
You have, Casey. It's been This was not the second time. It's been many times that you've at least. No, you haven't asked me to try it, but you've certainly said, "Man, I like this stuff. This is really. I used to have Chobani, but this is what I eat, and I like it better."
All right, Preston.
I'm like, okay, that's cool, good.
Agree to disagree.
Whatever. And then finally, I go, look. It's at Wawa. Chobani is at the Wawa I go to. That's why I get it. And I just explain it. I just let it all spill out like that. I'm like, this is why I get it. I have my one stop in the morning. This is why I pick up. It's my ritual. It's what I have.
The nerve had been laid bare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
With a little more attitude.
and this is
A
right
lot more
before
attitude.
we're going to.
He was super douchey about it, right? Right, for a simple question. I was just asking about yogurt, and he was a total a-hole about
See,
it.
this is
I'm
the
tired of it.
This
Right.
is the husband and wife dynamic, and then Casey had to do a live spot, and Preston put his headphones on, and after you put your headphones on, Casey goes, "I can't say anything."
I can't ask many questions, and that's how I feel sometimes.
But at this point, you'd think that you would catch on. He doesn't take well to these things after 4 times of asking.
But you feel he was sending you a sort of trying to suggest that you were not doing something that you were.
Maybe
Yes.
subliminally,
Subliminally, you felt
I
you-
get that.
He
I
was suggesting to you were doing something wrong by not trying the yogurt.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I
He wants you to
I can't say definitively
Do you
that I feel that
understand
way,
that,
but
Casey?
maybe on a core sense, maybe that's it. And you've tried to get me to do something several times, and I haven't done it, and it's time for you to go. Okay, well,
Now,
I don't
can
need
you
to do
s-
that anymore.
Can you see?
Why is yogurt so goddamn important to you?
Can you see that Casey is one who loves to share the joys that he experiences with everyone, and that for him it's important that he give you this gift of an extra creamy yogurt.
He eats yogurt every day.
Okay.
He's almost every day.
Casey, how does it make you feel that Preston was seemingly rebuffing your suggestion that he try the creamier yogurt?
So for me, Steve,
Yeah.
it goes beyond the yogurt. All right.
It's indicative of a usual.
It could have been anything.
Okay.
It could have been a piece of music. It could have been yogurt. It could have been
Music about yogurt.
Music's another thing.
A restaurant. It could have been anything. So he takes this tone with me a lot of times, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Listen, I've actually heard through the grapevine there's some issues going on here.
That there's some issues going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Between you two. Oh yeah, it's countrywide. you
Between
guys.
me and Casey.
Crazy.
The yogurt.
The yogurt. Well, yeah, because I received your letter, Casey.
You gotta love
So yeah, Casey actually sent me a letter. It's actually a fake letter from Casey, but it
And he
sounds
writes,
like
"Dear Casey."
Yes. It said, Robert, please allow me to. Dear Robert, if Greeks invented yogurt, then they also invented a broken heart. Well, you see, I recently noticed that Preston has been eating Chobani yogurt every morning for breakfast. But because I care deeply for Preston, I tried to turn him onto a much creamier, much healthier, better tasting Oikos yogurt. Well, my best intentions have sent our relationship into a spiral. And yes, we operate a mixing board together. But we're just going through the motions. Help us put our passion back in our relationship and into our mixing board.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, that came from Steve. Thank you very much. But it sounded good. It sounded good.
I was aware of everything that's going on here. So
yes. So what's going on, guys? I mean,
well, do you want to show you retired to the set? There's
Yes,
a
let's
Robert
go- yes, let's
Irvine
go there.
show
Yes, I
set
like
right in
this.
place
The set's
here.
much
You
better.
got to be kidding.
No. All right. So Robert, you actually picked up on it. You know what the story is. There has been this tension because these guys are actually the best of friends. However, there are certain issues that were spelled out to you, and you do what you do best. And I've seen some of the clips of.
So let's talk about
what
this.
you do.
Let's talk about this, Casey. You're a little in your face with this yogurt. Can we have that yogurt, by the way? Can you bring that?
Yeah, bring out the yogurt if you can. Yeah.
I want to try this yogurt. So you've been
yogurts on a tray.
Yes.
I hope they're all the same flavor.
So look.
They are. They're all
You're
strawberry.
really upset. Look at me when I talk to you. All right. You're really upset that he's using Chobani, right? And you like the other one. So you wanted him to try yours. So here's what I want you to do. Look at each other. And I want you to tell him that you like Chobani or you love Chobani yogurt more than you love him.
Wow. I can't do that.
Very good. Now I want you to look at him and say you love your yogurt more than you love him.
I can't do that either.
Wow.
I think we just had a breakthrough,
We
guys.
did. I
Say,
think we
here, I want you to feed him your yogurt. it's all about breaking. We're breaking now.
Here comes the airplane.
Okay.
Now,
what do you taste there?
I taste love.
Great. Now you take your yogurt and do the same thing to Preston.
All right, here comes the train.
What do you taste?
It is a little creamier. I will give you that case.
Breakthrough number 2.
Because I don't have any bitterness involved anymore. Well,
but here's the
that's
thing.
clouding my taste buds.
See, okay, so the last time you were gonna not like it as much, regardless.
I kind of tore through that little container, 5 and 3.3 ounces.
Okay.
Very quickly, but now that I've tasted it, it's pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is called compromise.
Preston and Steve show. It may feel like the week is crawling, friend, but it's actually zipping right by. We're almost done with a Wednesday here on our program, which means not too far off from you. And the next thing you know, just a couple more days, and we're into No Sad Bro Friday. And then the next thing you know, we're in Florida, for crying out loud, for spring training on a plane a week from today.
Can you believe it?
Arriving on Wednesday night, and then setting up.
Kathy's holiday activities.
Yeah, that'll be next. Oh my God! But we're excited about spring training and broadcasting live on Thursday from the ballpark, and then Friday at Coco's.
It was a blast, man. Coco's was really a sort of a hidden gem of that whole trip last time around, and now we know what to look forward to.
Yeah, and we just did our program and had a good time. It was a lot of fun. So looking forward to that again. Let's see. Lesson question. No. What are we giving away? Tickets for the Summer of Loud show. MMR presents this event, and it's Wednesday, July 23rd, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. We're going to have to do this via Zoom once again, all right, until we get phones up and running. And we'll continue even when we do get the phones up and running. We'll continue
like it.
Zoom from time to time. Here's your question. What singer did Jesus look like? 215-263-WMMR. Okay, what singer did Jesus look like? What, did you just remember?
I totally forgot, yeah.
All right, don't call. And I said it again. I said the phone number. Don't call that.
Don't call that.
It don't work no more.
Yeah.
Text the word Zoom to 39333, and we'll send you the link on how you can get in. So what singer did Jesus look like? Text the word Zoom 39333 to get in and your chance to win.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, while we wait for that Zoomy Zoom, we'll get some stories. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Well, Emmy-nominated actress Alexandra Daddario addressing some detractors who claim she is a bad actress. Daddario says first time she heard the bad actress criticism, she broke down and cried all over the most magnificent breasts on earth.
Hey!
On the newest episode of The Baldwins, Hilaria Baldwin says Alec has remained in a dark, dark place since accidentally killing Helena Hutchins on the set of the movie Rust. Later in that episode, Alex has a hilarious fail attempting to deep fry a pot roast.
Oh my God.
And finally, Kevin DeChico, the man who owned the three-legged dog Buddy, star of those Air Bud movies, is battling back from a serious bout of pneumonia. DeChico says he's following Buddy's lead and is fighting back from adversity by smelling people's asses. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
Now, I never saw Air Bud. Did the dog have 3 legs in the movie?
Yeah.
Huh. I never knew that. All right. Let's see if we can find a Zoomer. Oh, I'm being told I'm giving the international sign for stretch it out for a little bit. So we are waiting an answer
Let
to
me tell you about the new kind of pavement.
for the question, what singer did Jesus look like? So we are waiting for a Zoomer to get on board. Yes.
While we're waiting, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to our buddy Kyle McCarty. It's his birthday today.
Yay!
And I was chatting with Kyle earlier this morning. I had forgotten that it was his birthday, and then it came up in my calendar. But he has a show, a minute-by-minute show at the 118 North. It's not until June, but I would love to go to this show. I've heard that the show, the minute-by-minute, the cover of Michael McDonald stuff is awesome. And 118 North is a really cool music venue on North Wayne Avenue in Wayne, PA. So I'm going to try to go to that. And if you need more information, it's his Instagram is the Kyle Mack. Yeah, the Kyle Mack, MAACK. on Instagram.
Excellent. Great musician. Happy birthday to you, Comac. We love you, bud. All right, we can now get an answer. We have Melissa, who we are going to go to. Hi, Melissa. How you doing?
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Okay, so what singer did Jesus look like?
Josh Groban.
Josh Groban is absolutely correct. Yes. All right, hang on. We're going to set you up, Melissa. You just got yourself some tickets to go to the Summer of Loud Festival, and it is Wednesday, July 23rd at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Kill Switch Engage, Prevail, Beartooth, many, many more. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. You can go to WMMR.com for more information and another chance to win tickets. So hang on tight. We'll get your info. And nice to
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
I alluded to this earlier this morning. Motley Crue has postponed their Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM. It was originally set for March 28th to April 29th, and the shows are now rescheduled for September and October. According to a statement from the band, the postponement is because Vince Neil's doctors advised him that he needs to have a required medical procedure done.
Wonder what that is.
Yeah, Neil said he had apologized to fans in a statement saying, "My health is my top priority, so I can bring you the awesome shows that you deserved." And tickets for the original dates will be honored for the new shows. And you can check out the rescheduled dates on the official Motley Crue website.
I'd like to apologize.
Speaking of delays, Green Day fans in Australia feel like Dookie right now.
I get it.
The band canceled its final Australian concert,
That sucks.
which was scheduled for today at the Gold Coast Seabus Super Stadium due to the approach of Cyclone Alfred. I assume they call hurricanes cyclones in that part of the world.
I apologize.
The band announced that the severe weather would make it unsafe to proceed with the show. And
Yes, it would.
They expressed their disappointment and urged fans to stay safe. The concert cannot be rescheduled because of the band's international tour commitments. So fans who purchased tickets are going to see full refunds from Ticketmaster within 14 to 21 days. Paul McCartney wants Joe Cocker in the Rock and Roll
To go
Hall
to hell!
No. In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's right.
On Monday, publicist Bob Merlis shared a scanning of a February 25th dated letter from Paul urging that the English musician be inducted into the organization. He wrote, "Joe was a great man and a fine singer whose unique style made for some fantastic performances. He said he sang one of our songs with a little help from my friends, a version produced by Denny Cordell, which was very imaginative." It's a great version of the song, just a beautiful version.
Very imaginative.
McCartney ended his note
It was imaginative.
writing, "And whilst he may not have ever lobbied to be in the Hall of Fame, I know he would be extremely happy and grateful to find himself where he deserves to be amongst such illustrious company." Cocker died in 2014 at 70 years old. In his note to the press on Monday, Merlis wrote that McCartney caught wind of the efforts to induct Cocker, and he said, "Just this morning, the letter you see below showed up, and it's quite apparent that he is more than okay with our sharing it. We urge you to do the same." It's not the first time that Paul voiced his Hall of Fame favorites. Last year, he endorsed Foreigner, and they were inducted in October alongside
That's true. I remember that.
Sharon Dionne Warwick, which is kind of cool because this is why, I told you the other day it would be fun to take a legit superstar, one of the absolute,
You want to know what I'm listening to?
architects and see, are they familiar with
What's
some of
on
these?
the iPod?
Are they familiar with some of the bands that maybe aren't as big as they are?
Oh, yeah, they're all terrible.
He had lobbied for Foreigner. Cocker's one of
I love Cocker.
the more than a dozen artists who are nominated for induction this year, including Cyndi Lauper, the White Stripes, Oasis, Outkast, Billy Idol, and Mana, the first Spanish-language band to be up for the honor. I saw Joe Cocker in concert one time.
How was it?
It was fantastic. He was excellent. He played the Fox Theater in St. Louis, this really kind of swanky venue. And
what period is this? Around the Love Lift Me Up time?
No, it was after You Can Leave Your Hat On.
Oh, okay.
It was like around then.
Yeah.
And he did that. He did all the greats. He was great. He didn't really talk to the audience. He just came out and he did the songs, and he's what you wanted him to be. He sounded phenomenal.
Just shut up and sing.
When will they announce the inductees?
That's a good question. I do not know.
It always seems like a 15-step process, but
and because we've talked to Greg from the Rock Hall many times, and like the fan ballot is not a guaranteed way to get in.
No.
Okay.
Late April. Late April. Okay, so not too far off. So we'll see. All right, and then last story. And you guys familiar with they were a kind of a hair metal band, Faster Pussycat?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
They didn't have big hits. They had a couple of hits here and there.
Mike McCready loves those guys from Pearl Jam.
So Kimberly Birch, fiance of Faster Pussycat's singer, Tie Me Down, is presumed dead after allegedly falling overboard on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Oh, my God. What?
Right? So her mother told TMZ that Down informed her of the incident, which happened on the first day of the cruise. But Kimberly's body has not been found. The circumstances surrounding her fall remain unclear, though her mother noted that Kimberly had been drinking, which she said was uncharacteristic. A Royal Caribbean spokesperson said, our crew immediately launched a search and rescue effort, and they confirmed that, they're working with the authorities. The U.S. Coast Guard and Royal Bahamas Defense Force conducted a search, but operations were later halted. Down and Birch have reportedly been dating for like 5 years.
So Faster Pussycat was a big part of the L.A. rock scene, and then when my brother was trying to come up in that realm, they were one of the bands. Their name comes from a Russ Meyer movie, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Yeah,
the Daily Mail was reporting on he did an obscene rant on stage. I'm like, that the whole band was about.
Yeah,
he wasn't ranting; he was talking about getting laid, and that's what they did. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, it's of an era. We'll see if anything comes of that. But that's terrible, terrible news. And unfortunately, that's what we're ending music news with this morning. Yes, Nick.
I've been struggling with it since Steve said it, and because I was wrestling in my brain about Air Bud, the dog that played basketball in the films. Air Bud had 4 legs, Steve.
I thought Air Bud was missing a leg.
I thought so too, and then I was going back and forth. And there was a Disney franchise where the dog was missing a leg, but it was not Air Bud. It was a dog called Legend. And so, I couldn't remember either. And so, Air Bud had all 4 legs and was able to play basketball incredibly well.
Maybe it was the same dog, and at some point he lost his leg.
That might be it.
Yeah.
Air Bud, I thought, had gotten hit by a car, and that's not a joke.
As I remember, the original story was just that the Air Bud had been split in half laterally, and it was just the ass of the dog that played.
That's weird.
Okay. Well, listen, in Hollywood, they'll make anything.
They can make anything happen.
All right, I'm sorry, I keep bringing the teletype back up.
It's soothing.
It's the wrong one. And that is what I have in music news for you.
Oh,
what?
You want an Air Bud update?
Yeah, please.
Okay, in 1997.
Do we need breaking news or anything like that?
So,
okay.
But in the first movie, this is where I think the confusion came from. In the first movie, he had all 4 legs. And then Steve, in 1997, he had his right hind leg amputated due to synovial cell sarcoma.
There you go. We've just solved it now.
So I was so confused by all of it. And then sadly, he passed away from those complications of cancer a year or so later. But in the first movie,
he briefly dated Winona Ryder.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was after, she was on the rebound from Johnny Depp. So
sure. Yeah.
You can understand.
At that time. I got it.
My ex is dating a dog.
Doesn't even have all 4 legs.
Doesn't get it. It's weird.
All right.
That's it.
Depp and
Wino?
No, Depp sounds a lot like Pearl Jam by like Eddie Vedder.
A little bit. There's some Eddie Vedder in there.
And they're buddies.
Are they?
Yeah. You imagine that conversation?
Wow.
If you pick up the phone, hey, Eddie, no, it's Johnny.
All right, let's take a break. And when we get back, we'll wrap up the program. Letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize as well. We'll return with it.
For 18, 20 years, whatever the number is, compromise. You have to listen to each other. But when people get on your nerves, like him,
yes.
When they get on your nerve, you have to have more patience. It's like being in marriage. Look at him. He's upset visibly now.
Compromise and
patience.
Wow. I don't think that I am saying, hey, you need to experience this. You really need to do this. You really and after a couple times I try it and I get a cue from him that he's not interested, then I will back off of that.
Right.
Casey keeps going and going and going,
Right.
and it's just what you do. You know, I mean,
Sure.
Well, you got to learn to let that go. If he doesn't go with yoga after
the yogurt
10
thing.
weeks,
See,
I mean, you got to give it up.
But the yogurt thing,
or whatever, it doesn't have to be yoga.
So I thought he was over exaggerating. You're
like a little chihuahua
how in his face I was about the yogurt.
Okay.
He said I've been asking him for like a year, and I felt like maybe I only asked him a couple of times. And I thought the most hurtful part was I had actually was going to let him try some of the yogurt because I knew, and it was just like The Departed. He didn't see it, so I brought it in for him, and I gave him the DVD. So I thought, hey,
that's
this
like
brought me joy.
that's like you saying to him, "Hey, you didn't listen to me. Here, watch it now."
Right.
So now you're telling him what to do.
Right.
And he feels confronted.
Now you've like.
All right, now
alienated.
I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing it from your perspective.
May I jump in here, Robert?
Yeah, of
because
course.
I think also in a case they both love each other and they have things that excite them and they want the other to experience that, but they can't communicate on how to get. They feel that they are less because the other hasn't embraced something that excites them.
So
is that correct?
All right, and here's the other part of it all. We have the peanut gallery. Okay, so Preston said what he said, and then my feelings got hurt, and maybe I said something so he couldn't hear because his headphones were on. But
what did he say?
I didn't hear. I can't say anything. Well, I can't say anything.
And
blah,
then
blah, blah.
I made sure you knew that.
And then
yes, you did.
Yeah. So then,
right, legging on from Kathy over there. Yeah.
This thing that just would have went away, right? I would have had hurt feelings for about 30 seconds, and it would have went away, got brought up on the air, and became a bit without either of us really approving it or intending it or anything.
So you
like
have
that.
to respect each other's piece. If you have something you want to say, and you're in a peanut gallery situation, then write it down.
So, and then there's another
write
part
it
of
down.
This.
That's a good way to do it.
There's another part of this that, so after the show was over, our relationship was a little fractured. It really was. There were some hurt feelings. I knew I hurt his feelings, and he knew he hurt mine. He apologized, and we were about to talk it out. And then Matt Rovine, with his giant bushy eyebrows, came in and ruined everything.
And then you never said anything
because
after
I
that.
didn't want to drum it back up.
I was kind of hurt by that.
I know. So
Did Rovine say something about the yogurt?
No, he had a feral animal caught in one of his eyebrows, and he was looking for help.
So now that it has been brought back up again, because I didn't want to beat a dead horse, right?
Yep.
So now that it has been brought back up again, Preston.
What?
I called you a couple of names that day. I apologize. I said you were being a dick. And I said you were being a douche. And I thought that was harsh. And those were my hurt feelings speaking.
Okay.
And that was not me. And I apologize.
That's pretty bold of him. That's pretty.
That's good.
Okay,
We're
well,
making
thank you.
breakthroughs. Right.
Yeah.
Stand up and give each other a hug.
All right. Let's feed each other some yogurt. Love you, man.
There you are. That was simple, right? Communication.
Yeah.
If you communicate well together, don't listen to the peanut gallery because they're always going to throw in.
Sometimes he is a dick.
Ouch. So I think Kathy's on the bench next.
Yes, yeah. Well, Robert,
we got to have a complete reach right here.
Robert it's a good thing, and because you're reticent to think of a friendship in terms of like the same dynamics that would be in a marriage, but there's very similar things going on, correct?
Exactly the same, and it's the same when they have kids. These are the kids, right, in the room, because they'll throw things and they'll test the parents. So Kathy will go on your side and say, well, he's a douche or whatever, and they will just wind it up because they're fun. They've been with you guys for a long time. But friendship is about communication, just like marriage.
Yes.
About trust, communication, and if you have something to say, you should actually say it to each other, not in front of other people.
Right.
And don't say anything when you're angry. Write it down, put it under somewhere, go away, calm down, then pull it out. And if you still feel the same as what you wrote on that piece of paper, then confront it when you're calmer.
What makes you an expert? Your years as a chef?
Life.
Did you feel a certain weirdness, Preston, after that?
Well, yeah, I brought it on myself because I thought more about what he said, and then I started to I clammed up. I also have been kind of coming down on myself a little bit about being aware of how I interact with other people and the things that I say, and I want to be more cautious about it. I don't think I'm an outright jerk to people, but sometimes I'll say something and forget that it's just my opinion and that, it's not necessarily the right opinion.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of watch it, except for bitches like Kathy.
Oh, my God. I think I agree with you on that.
Everybody has an opinion, and don't change the way you are. That's what makes you you are.
I mean, if there's something that can bring us all together, it's
right. It's our hatred for Kathy.
Right.
I just can't believe this is happening, and this is like really you guys are
See,
being
Kathy,
serious.
what you didn't realize, it's all about you, not these guys.
We've both tried Chobani. We've both tried the Oikos.
And I just brought another one. Actually, it didn't. Marissa did. I just bought one just for you to try.
Stonyfield.
Yeah, just for you can try something different.
Are you saying that this is perhaps a yogurt they can both love together?
Yes, and I want them to interlock arms when you do this. There you go.
Like this.
It's beautiful.
And so the healing begins.
What do you think about
No. Yeah, look, we agree.
The enemy of my enemy.
I noticed a few things.
Ah.
I did.
Down a dark alley, across a field. Look over there. He does. He's Preston Elliott, the noticer. Noticing so you don't have to. And yes, this is probably a lot like the junk drawer.
Yeah.
But just a different introduction.
Cuddling a kitten.
Cuddling a kitten?
Yes. Makes you feel better, but it could be dangerous to your health. Doctors from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the U.S. conducted a large-scale survey of the cat-borne bacterial disease cat scratch fever.
Oh.
Yes.
Which is legit. The doctors have warned that hands should always be washed after touching cats and to avoid kissing felines where possible.
Sorry. Make out with them all the time. In fact, I brush my teeth with their tails.
The disease is spread when you are scratched by an infected cat, hence cat scratch fever, or when you don't wash your hands and touch your mouth after stroking an infected cat.
You have to be careful of anything like that, And
Well, we're talking about people kissing their chickens.
Kissing your goddamn chicken.
And getting salmonella,
I'll kiss a kitten before I kiss a chicken, and yes, that's on my bumper sticker. I kiss chickens and I vote. I will not be overlooked.
Need to have those made.
Cat owners should also be careful about their animals' interaction with stray cats where possible. However, the disease is relatively rare, where the survey finding that annual incidence was...
Survey says...
come on, man.
Give him a break.
I'm just,
I'm just a kitten-loving man.
One of those days. All right, so anyhow, they found that an annual incidence was 4.5 outpatient diagnosed...
Chicken kisser. Number one answer on the board. Chicken kisser.
The noticer.
With that.
He's ended his noticing for today, but the noticing will go on the Preston and Steve Show.
I have a chance. This is pretty cool. Jared Leto has signed on to star in a new biopic about Andy Warhol.
That's pretty wild.
And so he'll play Andy Warhol. I think he'll be great as Andy Warhol.
Andy!
Was that good?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Andy!
Terrence Winter will pen the script based on the 1989 book called The Biography.
Do you find him at all interesting?
Yeah.
Of that time and what he represents, I do as well.
And just what a oddball, strange guy he was, and the fact that he created such a sensation with with his artwork. So,
he also created the game Spud.
Oh,
a lot of people don't know that.
No way.
Yeah.
Andy Warhol?
Andy Warhol.
Out of boardom?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Okay. Wait, how do you play Spud again? I was thinking of Chink.
Excuse me?
Racist. Oh, there's a game.
Yeah,
called
okay.
Chink.
I'm sorry, Casey. You're late for your Klan rally.
You've never heard of the game?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Spud?
Spud, we always used to use a flat ball, like a ball.
Yeah.
That wasn't fully.
Yeah, we did too. What
right?
the hell was the point of that?
It was invented by Andy Warhol
His
when
wrists
you had
were weak.
when you had a ball that you couldn't play foursquare with or something like that, and you had to find something else to do with it, and so you played, Spud.
Man, I loved that game.
Spud was a lot of fun.
I forgot how you did it.
You throw it up,
You picked a
everyone
category.
runs, right?
Yeah, but you had to have a category.
Right, and then you spell out as you move towards the person you're going to throw the ball at, right?
Well, yeah, but there was like an it person, right?
Yeah, right.
Who had
Somebody's
the ball.
always it.
Wait a
And
second.
you picked a category. Say the category was colors, and everybody behind you had their color. So I would say I was the person. I would throw it up.
That's it.
And
they'd
I'd
have
yell,
to run and catch it.
I'd yell red, and if Steve was red, everybody else would take off. Steve would have to go get the ball.
And then it turns into kind of dodgeball after that, right?
Yeah, because you have to get closer to the person that you want to hit. Yeah.
Of the Preston and Steve show for today, a Wednesday morning. Weather-wise, we're expecting rain today. Not that far off from now. We should start seeing some light showers. The wind's going to pick up as well, and then it's going to be raining a little more heavy as we get into 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock around that range and going through the night. And tomorrow we're looking at cloudy skies, high 48. Looking at that 50-degree range all the way through the weekend with partly cloudy skies. So there is your weekend planner forecast for you, friend. I would like to thank our one and only guest this morning, Mr. George Wallace.
Yes, he was great.
Super nice guy, co-starring in the new show Clean Slate with Laverne Cox, and that is now available on Prime Video, 8 episodes, and you can watch them all. You can binge away if you feel the need, but very funny guy. Great to have him on this morning. And thank you for those who contributed to the program via Zoom. We're still using that, and we actually kind of like the way the Zoom thing is working.
It's a fun little way to do this. Yeah. It's something we'll bring out now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's all I have to say about that, other than we need to do the letter of the day. Is that going to be by you?
I got you.
All right, let me fire this thing up.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
V as in voluptuous.
Oh. All right.
Thanks for playing along, guys.
I love it, dude. Listen, the video of Jackie, the week of Jackie doing the letter of the day is just so funny. I never get tired of it. I never get tired of it. All right, by the way, we're giving away $500. It's brought to you by Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
I watched the first 2 episodes last night. Loving it!
Vigilante lawyer Matt Murdock and former mob boss Mayor Wilson Fisk are back in an all-new TV MA series, Daredevil Born Again, now streaming, and that's only on Disney+. And can you jump right in if you don't rewatch the other stuff?
Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. You know the basic. Right. And you watched a little bit of the first season.
I watched all of the first season.
You know the dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, yes, jump right in. And man, oh man, there is a bullseye sequence right in the beginning. Fighting Daredevil. It's awesome.
Any other people besides Vincent D'Onofrio from the original cast?
Yes, yeah.
There are?
Yes.
Like Froggy?
Froggy, yes.
Okay.
So there are a number of different people and new cast of characters. But there are, you'll feel right at home.
What about the girl who was the assistant in the first season? I know she became more prevalent.
Yes, she's absolutely there. Yeah.
So, but is it important to know her backstory?
No.
Okay.
No. She came from addiction, but she is clean up her act, and she's sort of the heart and soul of the series. It's really well done.
Preston, I watched a 20-minute version of a recap on Screen Crush the
That's
other
what
day.
I need to do.
And it's so freaking good. And Steve, I watched some of the original on Netflix, right? Yeah, with Ben, and but I didn't finish it. But man, they do a great job on Screen Crush.
Nice. And you can also watch the Comic Book Gurus. Of
course.
I want to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin'. Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets Fresh Foods, local flavors. Tomorrow, nothing. Don't even bother tuning in.
Yeah. What?
No, we'll get it together. We'll get some stuff.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. We always figure something out.
Yeah.
We're being coy because it's probably going to be the greatest show we've ever done.
Quite possibly. Yeah. That's it. We are done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.